Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Maximus Crypto Station. This is Max, and I'm doing a live video today on XRP. So hope everybody's doing great in this great world. We're going to start with welcoming people from our wonderful community. That's right. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, I know. Crazy stuff, right? Anyway, glad to have you guys here. It says there's only one person here, so that must be a glitch. Weird glitch. Let me see if I could come back. Hold on just a moment. That's really strange. I don't like those type of glitches. Yeah, you know what? This is a glitch that we had a long time ago. Oh, okay, now it's fixing itself. That's good. I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, what the heck is going on? One person? All right, so yes, please smash that like. We're at 4 likes, and glad to be here with you guys tonight, obviously. We're going to talk, obviously, about Ripple's XRP. We're going to talk about the coverage that we didn't get to last night in regards to Ripple and Hadera. And then on top of that, I have some juicy news to get into. Well, maybe not the juiciest, but a nice outline for you guys. Were you aware of, a presentation at the late September, if you will, from David Schwartz? I don't know if a lot of people were, but you want to know something? We have an itch that needs to be scratched. This whole notion that Ripple's XRP doesn't have scalability. Oh yeah, I went there. Yeah, I definitely went there. And David Schwartz went there. So we're going to get into that too. We're going to get into all of it. It's going to be a good show. And let's go ahead and welcome some of you guys tonight. So before we do so, we are going to say, please smash that like. And let's start off with a super chat. It is from the one and only Mr. Elon Muff with a $1.99 super sticker. Oh, it's a super sticker. That means there's something kind of cool thing here. He says that he is here. Ah, cool. You're here. You're in attendance. I'm taking attendance. Anyway, thank you for that. Nice way to start things off. Thank you, Mr. Elon Muff. All right. Going to start off with the first comment. It is from the one and only Mr. Tim Shea, who sprays from far away, getting everybody hit the DECK. Thank you for being here, Mr. Tim Shea, the mayor of crypto, the crypto commissioner, representing the one, the only, the 589th district of the XRP Army, his fellow constituents. Thanks for being here, Mr. Tim Shea. That's right, representing the 589th. Oh, yeah. Brittany's also here with the sideways action. This way, that way, wherever the case be. Glad to have you here, Ms. Brittany. And then on top of that, yes, we really welcome the Muff, Mr. Elon Muff, saying what up to Brittany and everybody else. And Tim Shea Butter Sauce. Interesting. All right. Yes, thank you again for the $2 super sticker. That was a cool one that you're here. My glitch. Yeah, that was a weird glitch, man. It said 1, and there was like at least 5 at the time. More people are filtering in, about 16, 17 people. Thank you for being here. Let's try to get the broadcast out to a bigger base. Please smash the like. Currently at 11 likes. On top of that, we have the one and only Mr. Patrick Collier is here. He says, well, Sunday fun day. Yes, it can be a fun day depending on where you're at and how late it is. But you know what? It's going to be a good show. So cool stuff. Speaking of fun, Rick Cogswell is here, looking sharp as always, Rick. Love the suit, love the tie, always looking professional. Heck of a lot looking more professional than I am right now, right? Anyway, appreciate you, Rick. Anyway, and let's see here. Glitch scam. That's funny stuff. Common Sense, Todd, good to have you here. Boom. Hopefully you're having a great Sunday in this great world, right? And let's also welcome the one and only Mr. Boomer F. Sooner. Thank you for being here, Boomer. Hearing about your Sooners defeating the Longhorns, you must be absolutely ecstatic. Boom. All right. To the Boomer F. Sooner. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That's how we do it. And on top of that, we have the one and only Mr. Danilos here. He goes, "You're right." You gotta admit that's gonna either be on some merch, a shirt, or a wife beater, tank top, or I don't know, on a coffee mug. I'm kind of undecided on that. Maybe it's on both, but we're going to figure it out. All right. He's flexing because that's what he does. He works out, right? All right. Let's welcome also back Mr. Crypto Info _DYOR. Give him a follow over on that exact channel. Back, he says, I forgot something. That's okay. Brittany, Boomer time. Come on, Max and Mr. You know who. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Henry Brown with a $2 super chat. Ripple haters, we love y'all. There is some haters for some reason. Anyway. All right. So let's see here. Thank you again, Mr. Henry Brown, though. That was pretty cool. And he is saying hello to everybody. And here's a sideline report before we kick it into our outline. Crypto has no innate or inherent value, SEC argues in Coinbase case. Well, that's pretty weak sauce if that's the case, especially when they have somebody who's a former MIT professor, Gary Gensler, talking about turncoat, right? Yeah. Hello. All right. So it might be a weird day, maybe just because people haven't seen me do a Sunday show in ages. But yeah, we're trying to shoot for it. See what happens with it. Let's read this real quick. Boomer F. Sooner says, "Ha, crypto, quote, has no value, but they'll sure tax the hell out of it." Exactly. Patrick Collier, Henry, I hear that from all kinds of people. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to, I guess, just maybe wait for a few more people and so on. But in the process of doing so, I thought I would start off the outline with something that you've already seen, which is still a very, very cool video. And please smash that like. Let's get the branding going up here. There we go. And it is now the Ripple segment. And in the future, I'm going to try to get these icons like HD. So obviously this one is in HD. Max, why isn't this one in HD? Yeah, it's a good question. You know, I was noticing that the other day. I was like, what the heck? So anyway, please smash that like. We're at 15 likes, 15 people watching. So I guess everybody smashed it, basically. Might be a weird day, but that's okay. We got Tim Shea, who sprays from far away. All right. So let's just get into it. And thank you guys for being here on this Sunday night. Hopefully you're all having a blessed day. All right. Let's go ahead and share this. This is a video of why I hold XRP. Here we go.
XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions, including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors? Former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany? Former business director at Swift? Former Swift board member? Former CFO of PayPal? Former head of the DTCC? Former chief business officer at Uber? Former VP of Amazon and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. You decide. Well, I already decided, Max. XRP scam. Won't go to higher than $5. cross-border payments. It's a crock. You know, are you aware that it went to $3.50 or where it was, or almost $4 6 years ago with hardly any implementation? Oh, didn't realize that. I might need to go back to wax on, wax off. Yeah, you might want to do that. There's somebody from Will Fix's channel who said, XRP never even went to $1. And I was just like, wow, man, talking about not doing your own research. So I gave him a little quote, the exact date, all that good stuff. Anyway, we're going to read a few more comments, and then we will actually get into the outline of what we had tonight. XRP is probably going to dominate the show with a little bit of that Hadera mixed into it and so on. Let's read a few more comments, though. Patrick Collier says that's why most people, won't invest into crypto. For the comment earlier, people saying, quote, has no value. Right. Yeah, exactly. Tim Shea says, screw them, we'll laugh later. And then they will be hitting us up for money, right? People will come out of the woodwork. Hey, remember me? Yeah, you remember me. Rick Cogswell, Tim Shea, Patrick Collier. I'm Susie's second cousin, sister's and nephew, twice removed. And, I heard that you fell on a bunch of money. Weren't you the guy that was laughing about all this technology a few years ago, saying I was crazy? Never mind that. I didn't mean that, Yeah. A lot of people come out of the woodwork when stuff, not stuff, but, when they hear that either won the lotto or came on to a bunch of money is the bottom line, right? All right. We're also going to welcome Mr. T. Milton, 30. Hey, man. Terrell. Yes, that's right. I verified the other day on a DM, right? Good to see you. He says, what up, Max and my crypto fam? Yes. Always a pleasure to have you back. Welcome back. Nice look. The white with the... seriously, I can't do it tomorrow. My barber's closed tomorrow. Well, anyway, I'm going to fill it all in nice. It's going to look good. Yes, that's right. Anyway, Patrick Collier screaming 589 to the nearest off-ramp. And this is where somebody like Mr. Ahmed is going to be like, off-ramp? Did somebody call? Stellar. Beats his chest like King Kong, right? Good to see you, Mr. Ahmed. Greatest avatar in all of crypto. Shout out to Mr. Ahmed. You know what? Basically, Brian Dowie's going to say, Hulk says hello. At some point, he's going to tell Ahmed that Hulk says hello. I don't know what that's an inside joke or what. Kind of like, going to the from the 10-yard line to the touchdown, Boomer F and Sooner. I don't know if that's an inside joke, but it might be an inside joke. Anyway, all right. U.S. considers applying Electronic Fund Transfer Act on crypto accounts. Well, thank you for the sideline report on one, man. All right, let's see here. Sounds like you need to get some XRP. You don't have XRP, huh? Interesting. Well, yeah, you're still not too late. I mean, yeah, you did get it for 32 cents, but you know what? How about me? I didn't get Ripple for. Some of you guys got it for like, I don't know, maybe 20 cents, 15 cents, or something like that. All right, it just depends on your entry point. But I would not wait until that thing goes to like 1,000 or more. But anyway, not financial advice. Let's read this as well from Crypto Info DYOR. He says, the word on the street is that Bitcoin is the greatest distraction to the greatest disturbance. Here comes XRP. Oh, in the rich voice. My bad. I was trying to do your voice, but that didn't work out too well. Another ISO was fire. I'm glad you watched Rich. That's cool, man. All right. One more time to disclaim this. Please smash the like. 19 likes, 21 people. I guess it's just a weird, funky turnout. Maybe people just aren't used to, hey, I didn't know Max does Sunday shows. Well, I do now. Anyway, yes, flex it. Be like Danilo. You're right. Ripple no scam. All right, let's see here. Dwight Von Tress, welcome back once again. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Look at that. These two, this couple, they glow. I always noticed that about healthy, fit couples. God knows I'm not yet. They glow. You guys glow. Shout out to you. Anyway. All right, let's see here. I'm going to read just a couple more comments. Boomer F sooner says, how much XRP is left to buy? With 4.5 million wallets holding, it can't be much. That is a good point. Somebody could look that up if they want. Tim Shea, let's see. They might be releasing 1 billion in December. That's a good point too. For about that. Let's also welcome Magic Power. He's got the alien thing going on. He says, hello, guten Tag. Welcome to Wiener Schnitzel. My name is Hans Landa. I'd like to take your order today. See Liechtenstein Exchange. And JASMY, with the Race Club Consortium in the house. Let's go. See, I didn't even have to read it. I knew I was going to say that. Good to see you, Mr. Magic Power. I agree with that, Tim, as well. All right, let's go further down. Hello, Maggie. We guess it's dear Bruder. You guys are crazy. You know, one of us is going to go watch like A Bridge Too Far or freaking, you know, Inglorious Bastards or something. I don't know. All right, this is a good one from Boomer. Even if they release all 100 billion with 4.5 million wallets holding XRP, that's only an average of 22,000 per wallet, so still can't be much left to buy. Well, I'm glad you're on top of it. All right. Yeah, no problem. And yeah, I'm glad you guys are all having a good time. All right, we're gonna now jump into this, whether we have 20 or we have 40 or we have 60, right? That's not the point. The point is you guys are here, right? You guys want some of that crypto info, DYOR. Shout out to him. Give him a follow. And let's go ahead and jump into what we have for tonight. It is this right here. And it was the report originally I want to share with you last night. And then we're going to get more into some other things that I added to it. Let's see what Max did right there. Yeah, that's right. So what we're going to do is going to pull this up. And in reality, it's a combination of both Ripple and Hadera. So, you know, one of those things, right? I wish I could put both icons on, but, you know, the HUD would get a little clunky, right? Anyway, not clunky, but too tacky. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. All right, so Ripple plus Medico, Archaix, Hadera, and ABRDN PLC, which is this one here, which is their purpose is to enable clients to be better investors. I mean, in reality, isn't that everybody? Anyway, it says connections upon connections upon connections. So what is this all about? Why am I bringing it to your attention? Well, if you didn't know, Archaix is a London-based digital securities exchange. And of course, like it says, you know, they basically facilitate the regulated trading of blockchain-based assets. Now you kind of might see where I'm going with this. It says, as you can hear in the clip, Breege Tennelly, who is the head of market development, knows that they are using Medico, Ripple's newly acquired company for segregated security solutions, aka custody. If you wonder how recent this was posted, you know, roughly a few days ago. Okay, so it is somewhat new. Now, again, segregated security solutions, aka custody. You're going to hear these terms get brought up a lot. And if anything, for the last few weeks, what we've been talking a lot about tokenization. We've been talking about big institutions. The biggest one, obviously, is BlackRock, the world's largest asset custodian. So one of your key takeaways should be, hey, you know what? We're focusing a lot on tokenization. We're talking a lot about the bigger players that are the custodians. We're also talking about just that, custody, okay? So Archaix has 3 arms. A regulated exchange or multilateral trading facility, MTF, is tokenization engine of issuance. Has that not grabbed your attention? And a custody subsidiary based on technology from Medico. As for tokenization engine, they have tokenized the money market fund for ABRDN. And this is where the Hadera connection comes, okay? So Rich, Common Sense Crypto, he touched bases on it and so on. I'm also going to give you guys my own take and also expand upon that. So If you didn't watch his video, it's okay. Maybe sometime after the show or later on in your work week or free time, watch his, and it'll catch you up on some of these things in regards to Ripple and Hadera. Now, this last part. ABDRN is the first major UK asset manager to issue a tokenized security. And why we're putting so much focus on that is because, again, like I said, that song, Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. I can literally, you could feel it in the air tonight because this whole notion about guys like Larry Fink of BlackRock stating, soon we will see the tokenization of securities and bonds. Well, boom, tokenized security. The first, right? First major UK asset manager doing it. I think it's a big deal. I think we should pay attention to this. So smash that like. Let's play this. It's only a little over 1 minute. And thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate you guys being here on this wonderful Sunday night. Here we go.
Here you really see a deeper dive into what our institutional grade structure looks like. And this is really how we hold these multiple types of assets. So nominee trust structure for securities. And then in terms of security on the digital side, we have a security segregated solution delivered in partnership with Metaco and IBM. We've multi-sig process in place for withdrawals. We also have CAS permissions in place, and so for securities and cash, which is demonstrated here by the flow that you see in front of you. This is really an important differentiator for Archax. And as we face off against institutional players, what they really want to see is institutional grade regulated entities, segregation of assets, how they're held and by whom they're held is absolutely paramount. It's a key differentiator for us, and that has to be across multiple assets, both traditional and digital.
Both traditional and digital. Remember how we said we can't just dismiss it. We can have or choose to have a flip of the switch any particular time that we want. That's what we want. But realize the bigger picture. There's things that need to come into play. There needs to be the right regulations, and certain banks have to be in compliance. Some are caught up, some aren't. Some, drag behind, as the saying goes. Some don't get the memo, or they do and they procrastinate. I mean, there's so many different factors, right? Getting more into this, just going to pull up some more. And basically speaking, there is this, and it's a little bit more from what you've seen. I mean, again, in that thumbnail, or not thumbnail, but the video, if you notice at the very top, it said, Archax institutional grade multi-asset segregated insolvency structure, right? For them to be the first UK asset manager to be tokenized as a security, that's a big deal. You can see this new pathway forward, this new way of going to the new monetary system. That should be one of your key takeaways already. All right. Let me pull up this information, from Wikipedia. And of course, we can't cite Wikipedia, but it's a good source for information. And basically speaking, I'm going to get more into this. So that's weird. That is bizarre. They pulled this? That is so strange. Let me refresh that. Wow. I swear to God, you guys, this was an actual thing with full info. What the heck? Whoa. They pulled the whole thing. All right. Well, I mean, I could try to get another source, but that's crazy stuff. All right. Very, very strange. Okay. Very, very weird. All right. Anyway, we'll get through it. Well, I guess that's why you don't go with Wikipedia sometimes. All right. So here's Archax. Okay. We'll get through this. Right. That's just kind of weird. On the live show, they completely pulled the whole Wikipedia listing. Anyway, can't pull everything from every outlet, though. Archax, a global regulated digital asset exchange broker and custodian. I want you guys to check this for a second. Let me just double check some settings because that was a kind of a weird interruption. So basically speaking, yes, broker and custodian. I mean, think about some of the terms here. You could trade digital securities and crypto, of course, on the Archax exchange, invest. But these key area, custody your digital assets or cash with Archax. Getting into more of Archax, here's some of the key highlight services. Securely hold digital and traditional assets within their custodian, and you earn a yield on proof of stake protocols. We stated in the future that, some people have stated like, well, what about when Ripple's XRP and even Stellar and some of these other ones become a high stable digital asset? Where will people bring that for, staking and so on? This is a little brief example of that. Now, currently speaking, it's not the craziest yield. You're not going to earn a lot on it. But, the bottom line is, like it says, secure institutional custodial services. Archax custody service is designed to keep your assets secure above all else. They use segregated insolvency. Again, back to that clip that we just showed with that lady, remote structure, and their ISO T27001. We're not going to have a moment that we had at the end of the show last night. I promise you that. All right, I read that wrong. I'm just going to state that. 27001 certification ensures the highest level of security for your investments. Archax custody covers a variety of asset classes, including regulated digital securities. I mean, think about this terminology that you see here. Traditional securities, cash, unregulated crypto. I mean, right. That's crazy, right? Why would something like this even mention unregulated crypto? Interesting. Of course, NFTs and stablecoins. Has that reference back to this next part real quick. We will read this verbatim. The system supports leading blockchain protocols and provides institutional-grade key security in collaborations with their partners at Medico and even IBM. And getting more into this, you're going to see some of the key ones, right? Stellar, you have Ripple, Hadera, all this stuff, right? I mean, these are all, for the most part, blue chips, all right? Talks about their staking services, has this thing with Hadera. So, I mean, it's good stuff, and I at least wanted to share that with you. Now, what I also want to get into is this recent thing that, I should say thing, but interview that happened on October 2nd, right? Not that long ago. And it is with this lady. I introduced her to you guys on the last Hadera video. But it's exactly, for the most part, like the Stellar Development Foundation when they do their interviews, right? It's just Hadera's version, and they got a way bigger following, right? I think on Stellar, it's only like maybe 11 or 12,000. They got like 36,000 following on this. I'll hit the like on that one. But anyway, it's from Gossip About Gossip. It's Archax. Again, why we're highlighting this, okay? The registered digital asset exchange broker and custodian. Now, I've gone ahead and fast forwarded to this key area that I want you to pay attention to, right? She just gets right into it in this interview. So I want you to hear this person is Simon Barnby. He's a CMO of Archax, and this is, of course, Zenobia Gottschalk from the, Swirls Labs. She's the VP of communication. We're going to play this for a little bit, and then after that, we're going to get into the David Schwartz presentation that recently happened 13 days ago, okay? And I'm going to tie all this in, and if anything, that'll be on to our next segment here in a little bit, but it's going to answer this darn question about this whole notion, all right, about, I couldn't believe it when I heard this over and over and over, right? Won't mention any names. You guys already know who he is, right? He's a good guy. That Ripple XRP can't scale? I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. So that ish, of course, just like my Max scratcher, as Brian Dowley would call it, right? It needed to be scratched. And I said, I got to bring it. I got to give you guys some info. Bottom line is XRP can't scale, but I got to show you why, we need to look into some of these things. So again, please smash that like. Currently speaking, we are at 26 likes. Let's try to get this out to a broader base. Thank you so much for being here. Here we go.
Good. Okay, so we have had Archax has been in the news a little bit. We'll get into sort of the relationship between Archax and Aberdeen and the use of Hadera. But if you can just take folks back a little bit and talk about what is Archax, how did you develop and what is your role there?
Sure. I mean, I guess if you kind of look back to the origins of Archax, I mean, firstly, we're the core team here at Archax, we all come from traditional financial markets. So we've all worked at banks, brokers, regulators, exchanges, asset managers, hedge funds. So we come from that kind of regulated institutional financial markets world. But, back in, 2017 and maybe even before, kind of big believers in what was happening in the crypto space, what was being pioneered by protocols like Bitcoin and then Ethereum and Hadera and others, and excited by the innovation that was taking place there, but also really excited by the possibility and opportunity for that technology, blockchain, DLT technology, and concepts like tokenization to really revolutionize and disrupt traditional financial markets. And if that is something that's going to happen, then we realize that someone needs to build institutional grade regulated market infrastructure that can facilitate that can build a bridge, if you like, between the cool crypto world and the more traditional regulated financial market space. And that's really what Archax is all about. We've spent the last few years building technology, institutional technology, getting regulated by the FCA, raising money to keep us going and to get us where we are today, which is in 2023, rolling out our first products and services. So, it's been an exciting journey so far, and the next phase is just beginning.
And that's no small feat. I mean, you're essentially recreating the entire, financial services infrastructure under a new paradigm and having to work through a lot of, regulatory uncertainty to sort of probably help these folks understand what this technology means to financial services.
Exactly. Yeah. When you start a journey like that, even though, we were a fairly credible, experienced team, you don't know what you don't know. And, along the way, you find out all sorts of things that need to be solved, all sorts of problems with, revolutionizing the way things are done, technology hurdles, market infrastructure hurdles, regulatory hurdles. But thankfully, we've navigated them all successfully so far. And are hugely excited by the opportunity and the possibility in front of us.
Very exciting. Well, yes. So that was a big undertaking. You've worked through the years to sort of get that ready for prime time now. And so can you talk a little bit about, what the customer experience is like in Archax and what kinds of services you're offering today for customers?
Yeah, probably a starting point is maybe to touch on the regulation that we have in place, because for us, regulation is key. For the last few years, we've always been talking about the regulation we have, the regulation we're getting, because we thought that was key. And in fact, what happened in the crypto markets last year and into some of this year just highlights the need for a regulated approach. But the regulations we have, so we're based in London, although it's a global initiative at Archax, we're regulated by the FCA as an exchange, a broker, and custodian, and we're on their crypto asset register as a VAS, a virtual asset service provider, as well. And those regulations give us what we need to launch. I mentioned earlier we're kind of rolling out products this year. We kicked the year off with our custody solution, so we're a fully regulated custodian here in the UK, qualified custodian in the US. And the regulations that we have mean we can custody everything from, unregulated assets like Bitcoin, HBAR, and other sort of crypto native instruments. We can hold regulated tokens as well, like tokenized assets, tokenized real world assets, tokenized funds, real estate, debt, equity. We can hold traditional instruments also. And we can also hold client money as well. So we're fully, quite a broad range of custody services. And we're busy onboarding people onto that custody service now. We have circa 100 million of assets under custody. They're in place or coming very soon. And we're kind of finding that even though many crypto assets remain unregulated in many jurisdictions, actually being a regulated custodian and people knowing that you're operating the service as a regulated custodian, regardless of the asset in question, is quite an attractive place to hold assets. It's a safe harbor. So the custody service is progressing well. Soon after that, we launched our primary market. So this is a market where we can help firms raise money. We've got around, I think, 7 or 8 issuances up on our primary market at the moment. We've helped one firm close its raise. We've got another couple that we're helping with. So we can help on that sort of fundraising journey for either digital issuances or regulated issuances, but they tend to be fintech or crypto-related firms. We also have our tokenization engine we launched earlier this year, so we can create tokens on a range of protocols. So we have that ability, to help firms raise money, to create the tokens that they wish to have, and then to custody them also. And then the final piece, which is launching at the moment, is our exchange. There are 2 markets on the exchange: an unregulated market with cryptocurrencies, pure cryptocurrencies on spots, and then a regulated market, which is where sort of tokenized real world assets can sit and trade. So we kind of have both those pieces too. And alongside all that, we're kind of looking at creating some of our own digital structured products, tokenized products as well. So as well as being a marketplace for people to come and list, we're also creating issuances that we think will be interesting to institutions generally, because our focus is very much institutions or professional investors and above anyway.
And, I think you are touching on a theme that we have heard a lot this year, which is that, you have sort of this merging of asset classes and of functionality. I've never met a person who says, yes, I really enjoy managing all of my different products and assets across multiple different logins and financial institutions. And I love having, 17 usernames and passwords and complicated access to each individual asset. So it does feel like, there is this recognition, as there has been in other, technology shifts and other probably financial services shifts, that, treat assets as just different asset classes, but be able to manage them simply.
All right. So the cool key takeaway here is, again, seeing that Ripple connection, right? XRP, also Hadera, and then this particular one, Archax, being the first, especially in the UK, for tokenized assets, right? I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, just even double checking the notes. Yeah. Actually, excuse me, ABDRN is the first major UK asset manager to issue a tokenized security. And then again, tie in the whole thing with, for instance, Hadera. Like it says, they have also tokenized the money market fund for ABRDN using Hadera, right? And then, of course, even with what we mentioned earlier, Ripple with Medico, then we have Archax with Hadera, and then you combine those as well. Then you also bring in ABDRN. So it's like a collaboration, a collaborative effort with literally, was that 3, 4, 5 of these, right? Pretty crazy stuff. We're going to take a pause now to kick it back into the comments and recognize a few of you guys who has some unique questions, comments, and so on. And after that, we'll get into one of the key highlights of the night. It's not just Ripple scalability, it's also recognizing some updates. And it's brought to you guys from the one and only David Schwartz. Apparently, I think this was like maybe 13 days ago or something like that. I've gone ahead and fast forward to some key parts that I want to highlight for you guys tonight. So I want to thank you guys for being here. Let's go ahead and jump into it here in a bit. It's going to take off some of the branding. There we go. And let's pull it up. All right. All right. So next up in the comments, we have Robert Williams. Welcome. Glad to have you here. 6:32 p.m. He says, thoughts on DEG. I don't hold DEG, but I think it's solid. One of the most impressive things was I like the idea that they still have that quant partnership. I'm big up on quant, as some of you guys know. And of course, it's always tied into the mission of ISO. Lots of use cases and so on, especially the whole thing with Department of Defense, Air Force, and so on. So I think that's obviously a big deal. But on top of that, it's so incredibly cheap. I mean, there's a lot of these that are like absolutely just dirt cheap. Pulling up DEG even on CoinMarketCap. I know some of you guys don't like me using it. You prefer if I just use CoinGecko. But for the purposes of answering this, yeah, I mean, look at this. Constellation DAG currently down for the moment, but it's a buy. It's under 3 cents. It's at 0.02843. There is a total and max supply. They just about match. It's only off by one DAG, 3,711,000,000 and some change. Currently speaking, you do have only 34% of that in circulation. The volume is up about 48%, but I don't know. There's a lot of things about it. I mean, like it says, it's been around since 2017. That directed acyclic, graph architecture to achieve consensus that is in theory capable of infinite scalability. See how we're talking about scalability earlier? So I mean, again, if you take more of a look into all this stuff, it's pretty impressive. It goes on to also mention that it solves many problems existing blockchains. Obviously, scalability, we said that. Constellation is designed to enable the secure processing of big data, offering the ability to connect external data sets through easy to use API. In reality, that's their quant connection. When you took more of a deeper dive into it, we already talked about that a while back. But yeah, I mean, that's an absolute buy. It's one of a few. I don't own everything. I don't think anybody does. Unless you're Elon Musk, right? Mike Cornwell, then you do. No, I'm kidding. That's a bad joke. But anyway, but I think it's solid. And are you into it, or are you just thinking about getting into it? Anyway, glad to have you here back, man. Appreciate it. Tim Shea is showing crypto info _DYOR. Please give him a follow. Thank you for being on top of that, Tim Shea. Really appreciate that. I'm sure he appreciates it too. Boomer F and Center says, and if there's not much left to buy, I guess in regards to Ripple, XRP, and the market cap is at 27 billion, how can the market cap climb to where it need to be to just hit 10? No FUD, serious question. That's fine. I don't consider it FUD. You make some valid points, all very good questions. Common sense. I have to go to work. Good night, everyone. I just wanted to say hello. Well, I'm sure you're gone by now, but thanks again to the OG of OGs, Common Sense. All right, let's go further down. Yeah, obviously Tim Shea knows about. Yeah, Tim, I think you have DAG. Obviously, I don't know. Don't quote me. Anyway, I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. Am I the only one who feels as though that if you sneeze, you got to have two sneezes? Show hands of those who are two sneeze type of people, right? I'm a two sneezer type of guy, right? That's me. Got to get a good two. Once in a while, I have a one, but most of the time it's a two. I don't know why that is. Anyway, all right. Ahmed, Lambo never. You like old school Range Rovers? I like old school Range Rovers. I think they're pretty cool. You know what? How about this? Back in the day, because there is a difference between Land Rovers and Range Rovers, right? A little bit different body style. Remember the LL Cool J music videos, especially the ones developed or produced by and directed by Hype Williams? Whatever happened to Hype Williams? You never see him around anymore. But man, back in the 90s and early 2000s, he was the director / producer of all the major hip hop videos, right? But I remember those Range Rovers. Anyway, shout out to anybody that was LL Cool J fans back in the day. Ladies love Cool James. That's what it stands for. All right. Going more down to some of the comments, there's Elon Musk, Patrick Collier, and you know what? I do want to recognize you, Patrick, and I want to recognize some of the other guys, because you know what? Patrick Collier, he says he's not looking for recognition or anything like that, and I believe that. But you deserve recognition. You're a pretty awesome guy, man. And what I mean by that is you are in so many different communities, right? And like that DM I sent you, the world needs more Patrick Collier, if you will, because it's not just here. He does it with over at CryptoSmith. I'm sure I imagine, because I know that you're a fan of Rodney Sorensen. I stop by on Rodney's channel once in a while. Haven't been there in a while. But there's all sorts of different ones you go to and so on. And, this space that we're in, I hope to God that other people do appreciate you. Obviously, Sean CryptoSmith does, but for all the other ones I don't know about, I just hope to God that they appreciate you, man. You're good peeps all the way. And with that said, I want to recognize A few donated memberships. Let me just see if I can highlight some of these. I don't even know if they show up on StreamYard. If they don't, nope, they're not. So I'm just going to recognize it on the other screen on YouTube real quick. Let me just catch up to my comment. All right, so I'm just going to go old school and just do a shout out. And let's first recognize a few of these. So let me go to the top of the grocery list because there's a lot. We could call it grocery list, Max. Jeez. Okay. Did I not rate with the $2 super chat? So Henry Brown had a $2 super chat. I think I did read that. Yeah, I think I did. All right. So Ripple haters, we love y'all. So there's a heart for you. All right. Yeah, that's cool. And then going further down, let me get to it. So one gifted MaximusCrypto membership. Thank you so much. It went to, and guys, you got to keep me on, it's random. You know, it's not like Patrick Collier's like, yeah, you know, I really like this. Hello, guten Tag, the Liechtenstein exchange. I like it when Maximus basically says, yo, voter burst. I like magic power. You know, he seems like he might work part-time at your local Wiener Schnitzel. No, he doesn't work part-time at Wiener Schnitzel. Okay, although that would be kind of cool to just spend at least 1 hour at the drive-through to say you did it and be like, welcome to Wiener Schnitzel. You know, we have the $9.99 special. Guten Tag, danke. No, it's random, you guys. It's absolutely random, okay? And, you know, that also doesn't mean that Magic Power, the other part of his day, he goes to, you know, Panda Express or, you know, Szechuan Cuisine or, I don't know, the Hibachi Grill, and he's just like, welcome to Hibachi Grill. You know, I am Magic Power. No, it's not like that. So it's just random. He's not saying, he's not picking favorites or anything like that. Anyway, Magic Power was gifted a membership by Patrick Collier. Okay. So thank you for that, Patrick. And thank you, of course, Magic Power. So danke. Okay. On top of that, we have another gifted membership. It was to GS from Patrick Collier. Awesome. Thank you to GS. And GS, apparently you're a big fishing fan. I mean, who isn't? I mean, fishing's awesome. I never got a chance to ask you, GS, what is the favorite type of fish that you like to fish for? Or is there no favorite? You know what I mean? I always was curious about some of that stuff. So thank you again for that. On top of that, we are going to read this comment since it's in front of me. Max, quote, DC microgrid, an innovative technology with extremely high potential. I covered that. Yes, me and Menno Laguar. Also NeoXtrix, I believe. Invented by Tadashi Morita, CSO JASMY. This technology would take JASMY to unrivaled level. NeoXtrix posted. All right, awesome. We are going to do a part 3 in regards to, I don't know if you guys remember, part 2 was the whole thing with Warren Buffett, and we draw on some of those connections and whatnot. And then part 3, not NeoXtrix, Menno Laguar and I are working on that. He's going to send me some more of the research. Maybe I share it tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see how ready that is. And of course, I got to do some catch up. I have all the content I got to upload from the last few days. So I don't think I'm going to do WrestleMania tonight. I really got to catch up because also tomorrow I want to be able to get up at a reasonable time and plug away and get some other work done, like real work, right? Not crypto content work. Not to say that's not work. So I'm just trying to get everything, like my ducks in a row, if you will. Anyway, and then also I think Will Fix said that he chopped up. I didn't even have to ask him to do this. This is what I love about Will Fix. I never got that from, you know who. Anyway, he was like, yeah, man, I went ahead and, I reviewed that JASMY video you were talking about in regards to that AMA coming up. He was like, I think that's great information. I was like, thanks, Will. He's like, yeah, no problem, bro. I was like, thank you. Anyway. All right. So a few more. Let's thank you guys for this. All right. So Patrick Collier, I got to mention this, guys. It deserves a mention, right? Absolutely. Like that one guy. Oh, just shut the F up and get to the news. I mean, what kind of a person tells somebody that? That's ridiculous, right? All right. So Patrick Collier, to answer your question, Salman, where's Will Fix? He is an associate pastor. Today's Sunday. So, he's kind of busy doing the whole, Sermon on the Mount type thing. And who knows? I don't know what kind of thing he's doing right now, but I know that he's going to have a very busy day. He might, I don't know. Maybe he passed out on his couch or something. You never know. But I do know that earlier he was getting ready to go to church with his wife. So that's what's up with him. But yes, guys, he's definitely going to be on here. You're going to see a lot of Will Fix, and he's so excited and so ecstatic to be able to do it. I mean, he loves talking about this. That's all what I've always dreamed of is being able to, I guess you could say, have somebody that shares that enthusiasm. So you guys already know who he is, and it's awesome. It's just we're very blessed to have somebody like him here, and as well as you guys, right? We have an awesome community. All right, let's see here. Selmo Fudd, man, shout out to the brother Selmo. Hopefully you're having a great night, Selmo. He was gifted a membership also by Patrick Collier. GT flexing, doing it big. Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Predator. Man, I mean, those guys back in the day were like alpha dogs, all of them, right? Sylvester Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers. I could go on and on and on. Probably, I don't know, a lot of those guys. Jean-Claude Van Damme, you name it, right? Anyway. GT was gifted a membership also by Patrick Collier, so thank you again to Patrick. And then this fourth one is Michael Montclair was gifted a membership by Patrick Collier. So yeah, I agree. Brian Dowie says, effing legend, freaking Patrick Collier. Yes, you are, man. Like, you rock. Big time, right? Absolutely big time. All right, let's see here. I think there might be a few more things I need to recognize. All right, one more. My bad. Tim Shea gifted one MaximusCrypto membership. Thank you so much, Tim Shea, who sprays from far away. Have everybody hit the DECK, donating memberships because he's remarkable. Peace to Mateo. Now never mind. That's from Biggie Smalls. I'll stop that. Brian Dowie knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure someone does too. So Tim Shea gifted at random. Sideshow, wait, welcome back. I think you were from the previous thing with the channel and so on, so thank you, man. Glad to see you back. Sideshow, I believe that's Sideshow Bob, right? Yeah. All right, there's another one. Tim Shea also did a random gifting to Jack Thompson. Hey Jack, shalom to you, man, especially with everything that happened recently in the world. Sad thing in regards to Israel and so on, but he always says shalom to us. Back to you. Also, Jack Thompson, another guy lives in Arizona, probably about a 3-hour drive, right? South from where I'm at, 3.5, maybe 4 hours, something like that, down Tucson. Good to see you, Jack. Gifted that membership. So thank you again, Tim Shea. One more to mention, or a few more to mention. My God, maybe you guys don't like me keep going on with this. You just want me to get in the news, but we got to recognize the community. I mean, come on, we got it, right? Let me get more into this. We have, let me see. Sorry if I sound like I got a little bit of the sniffles, and don't. It's just a little bit of the allergies kicking in because summer's switching to fall. Crypto Homes 777, Adam, congratulations, was gifted a membership by Tim Shea. You freaking rock, man. Tim Shea gifted another membership, went to another random person, to Conscious Freedom. Gifted a membership by Tim Shea. Hey, thank you so much. If some of you guys are guys that came over from, referred by Will Fix, by all means, let us know. We definitely want to give you the proper welcome and shout to our fellow brother Will Fix, right? All right. But yeah, we want to see more of you. Conscious Freedom. Nice name, nice avatar. We also have another gifted one, apparently, from Tim Shea. When I say Tim Shea sprays from far away, this is basically what you're doing. He's like spraying the gifts all around, right? Like Machine Gun Kelly, if you will, and then what comes out is the gifts, right? And so now went to another random person, went to Marty. Thank you to Marty. I haven't seen you here before. If I have, I'm sorry, right? I'll try to definitely remember you from now on. But Marty, I'm glad to have you here. Let's all welcome Marty, you guys. Appreciate that. And that might be it. That's crazy. Let's see here. Muff thought you put. Oh, no. We're not going to do that again tonight. No. And if anything, I actually got some rest last night, so I'm gonna be okay. But it was, guys, it was an innocent, honest mistake. Okay, I swear. It was just, it's just too much reading, and not enough sleep, and just words look like other things, and then it was so innocent. And yes, if you guys don't know about it, who weren't here, You go back and watch the previous video. It's roughly the last 15 to 20 minutes of the show, and it's a blooper reel basically. Maximus basically busts a gut, and I just lose it. You know, I cough up a cool cat crypto hairball with all the laughter. I was in tears. It was hysterical. It was absolutely hysterical. So I'll have to remember when I see that term to just, hey man, cool it. You know, cool it. Anyway. Yeah, thank you. All right, just gonna read a few more of these. I think that's about it. All right, so I did see your comment, cool cat. It really can't scale though. Difference of opinion. All right, I respect your opinion. But anyway, we're gonna get into it, and if anything, everybody else can make up their own mind, right? Not discounting it all. You know. All right, so let's get into what we have. Please smash that like. We're now going to get into the Ripple XRP segment. It's not just about if Ripple can or XRP can scale. A lot more to it than just that. We have some updates. I want to get to all of it. If you Ripple XRP is your thing tonight, we have a ton of new information to bring to you. I just want to go to the key highlights instead of watching the whole video, right? Nobody wants that because it's over an hour. Just got to the key highlights from the one and only Joel Katz, aka David Schwartz. So yes, please smash that like. Let's double check how we're doing on likes. We are currently at only 37 likes, but that's okay. And before we actually get into that, there is a super chat from Patrick Collier. Let's see here. Let me see what it says. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work 2 days in a row. Oh, man, you just want to see me like go crazy, huh? And then have everybody leave. May not have everybody leave. Let's just read this, right? This is crazy stuff. Where is this? I'm not going to cough up a lung or laugh my you-know-what off. Where is this? This is great. I also want to welcome Salamander. Good to see you, Salamander. Boom, XDC Commander. Let's also welcome Dennis Leal, if you're pronouncing that right. Good to see you as well. Corey B-Bay, glad to see you as well. AKA JASMY got a scam. I don't know why I got to throw in the AKA with that. I did see your comment that you're out with your family and you came back and watched that segment and you thought it was hilarious. So I'm glad that you got a good laugh at it. All right. I agree. That would be crazy. That would be not that. You know what? That's a good point. It exposes who's secretly watching. Yes, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. And we all know who that could probably be. He's probably like, oh no, I'm going to leave right now. XRP, right? Anyway. All right. So VeChain is good. I feel like its moment it needs to pop off. If we went 2 bull markets in a row without that popping off, that would be extremely weird because it's been doing nothing but sideways action, you know, and yeah, we know with enough consolidation for a while, that creates a pressure cooker effect. But again, there needs to be a little more of that supply and demand. I think it's an absolute buy. And you know what? That and Morpheus Network, I wouldn't mind having as part of my supply chain / trade cryptos, if you will, right? I'm big on XDC. All right, let me go down to this super chat. It's from Patrick Collier. Yeah, not this time. It's not going to work, right? It was innocent. It was pure innocence, my friend. Yeah, you guys all see that. You're trying to get me going on again. Yeah, I know where you're going. Not going to work this time. Good to see Mr. OG Crypto, though. But thank you, though. Thank you, Patrick. Jeez. It was nice, though. You know, it was a good try. Right? It's like Borat back in the day. It's a good try. It's like you should miss, right? You know. Cool Cat Crypto. Shorts himself said XRP can only do 3 to 500 TPS. Okay, I get where you're going with. Maybe he needs to backtrack on what he said because this is something recent. Okay, I'm just saying, you know, it's recent. Like I think it's 13 days ago. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is use that as a highlight. And at the end of the day, guys, I'm not trying to sell you on XRP anyway. You get it? You know, get it? Don't get it. It don't affect me at all. You know what I mean? It don't. Not at all. You know, it's just info. Yeah, Corey, that was from a while back. Yeah, anyway. Who blankety blank, right? I don't know if for a while back, I was like, oh, if it goes below a penny, maybe. That is kind of like a lottery ticket at this point because it's so distressed. But I've always kept it at the back of my head. All right. Okay, let's use Boomer's comment to April. And good to see you, Ms. April. Boom. All right, we're going to now jump into this segment because we need to do that, right? We're now at the 1 hour mark. Okay. Yeah, let's get it, the branding going on again. There we go. All right, so here we have it. I'm going to close out some tabs. That was so crazy when we were trying to share the whole thing about ABRDN, and it went away. I mean, it went completely away. That was so strange. But anyway, glad to get into some of this stuff. So here's the thing, all right? This was, yes, posted 13 days ago. This is David Schwartz from the XRP Ledger Foundation. Actually, I'm going to subscribe to this. And, you know, it got about roughly 9,100 views. Comments, of course, turned off. You know, basically prevent people like Cool Cat Crypto to go there and say that, you know, there's no scalability. I'm kidding, Cool Cat. Anyway, I respect you, Cool Cat. Anyway, he's like, really, bro? Give me the link. I'll go there right now. Well, the comments, they turned the comments off, but I'm sure you probably would go there. Anyway, the future outlook of the XRPL with David Schwartz at Apex 2023, and again, posted 13 days ago. I've gone ahead and fast forwarded to some key parts. And then after we get into some of these key parts, I'm going to give you some key takeaways about what he's talking about. It's some good stuff, all right? So Ripple XRP is your thing. Please smash that like, and let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's get this presented from the one and only David Schwartz. Yes, doing it big. All right, here we go. Here we go.
So I want to go back to the beginning of why we are all here. The XRP Ledger is constantly innovating, and you all are on that journey with us. The XRP Ledger features fast, cheap, and scalable transactions. You can confirm a transaction with finality in about 5 seconds for much less than a penny. That's a time scale in which a human being doesn't get bored or annoyed. I know it's surprising to think how important that was. In the early days, we thought 30 minutes was super fast. But it's not when a human being is waiting for it, and it's not when you have a chain of dependencies. And you can get that confirmation with high reliability and predictability. There is not the variation in confirmation times that you see in other blockchains. And again, this is all from the design back in 2012. We focused on payments, and that is our historical legacy. Payments are at the core of everything that we do in this space. Everything else that you look at, and whether it's DeFi, whether it's loans, whether it's stable coins, payments are at the heart of everything. Real world asset tokenization. What are you going to do with a token? You're going to buy it, you're going to sell it, you're going to hold it. Well, 2 of those 3 things are payments. The XRP Ledger's primary role, at least sort of functionally, is to be the authoritative registrar of XRP ownership, the origin of XRP, the core and root of XRP. But the XRPL Ledger is much more than XRP. Since 2012, the XRP Ledger has supported issued assets. These can be thought of as stable coins, legal obligations, ICOs, tokens that represent something of value. One of the first things we realized when we looked at Bitcoin was that even if you thought Bitcoin was going to take over the world, it hadn't taken over the world yet. The vast majority of the world's value wasn't in Bitcoin and wasn't accessible to the Bitcoin blockchain. There would have to be gateways. You have to connect to where the value is. People are not just going to abandon everything of value in the world and suddenly start using some new source of value. They may get there eventually, but there have to be bridges to get them there. And so the XRP Ledger provided the world's first decentralized asset exchange in 2012. Nobody knew what a decentralized asset exchange was. That word didn't exist for years later. We didn't know how to describe it and talk about it, but we had it, and it works, and it's been in continuous operation, handling real money since then to now.
All right, I'm now going to jump into the next part we have, okay? So basically he was talking about scalability there for a brief moment. I'm going to share some key findings that I want to elaborate a little bit more in regards to Ripple's XRP and scalability, whether people agree with it or not, right? It's just me presenting, the information. Draw your own conclusion. So getting more into this, some of my notes, right? According to Ripple, XRP, the digital asset used for a cross-border payment system, no kidding, right? Consistently handles 1,500 transactions per second. However, it's been stated that they can, for instance, settle in 45 seconds, like he was stating, but XRP can scale up to 50,000 TPS to handle the same throughput as Visa. All right. Getting more into this because I don't want to just, state my notes. I want to share this. This comes from Cointelegraph. Let's jump into this. So on Cointelegraph, it says who scales it best inside blockchain's ongoing transactions per second race. And this is in regards to that claim of 50,000 TPS. All right. So getting into this, plain as day on your screen, according to Ripple, this is not me stating it. This is Ripple, XRP, the digital asset used in the company's cross-border payment system, quote, consistently handles 1,500 transactions per second. And again, just like I said, can scale up to 50,000 TPS, right? With this, be able to handle the same throughput as Visa. All right. All right. So let's jump out of that for a second. Now I'm going to get to this next part because this is, we don't want to just talk about scalability only, right? I want to jump into what David Schwartz has to share in regards to this whole thing of, excuse me for a second, the XLS 38D cross-chain bridge standard proposal, the future of XRPL interoperability. Okay. There's two key highlights. Again, this is part of my notes that I want to get into today for you guys. So the first one is what are cross-chain bridges and how could the XLS 38D proposal benefit, of course, us or people that are XRPL users, right? Some of us are, some of us aren't, but what's that benefit, right? And then the second thing we're going to get into, because there's a lot of other things, right? Can't get into all of it tonight. I don't want to make this 3 or 4 hours tonight. Is the importance of security in the XLS 38D cross-chain bridge standard proposal. Of course, there's some updates in regards to this. So for one, I want to jump into this. I'm going to share this with you. So if you're not clear on what some of this is, it's okay. That's why we're here to do research together, right? So bottom line is, like I shared or said here, excuse me, how is it going to benefit users? Well, cross-chain bridges are software applications that enable transactions to occur between various blockchains. Basically speaking, if someone wants to transfer crypto or any other digital asset between blockchain networks, cross-chain bridges are an essential part of the process, excuse me. There's this quote from GitHub. A bridge does not exchange assets between two ledgers. Instead, it locks assets on one ledger, the locking of the chain, basically. And represents those assets with wrapped assets on another chain, the issuing chain. A good model to remember is a box with an infinite supply of wrapped assets. This is a good analogy or explanation, right? Putting an asset from the locking chain into the box will release a wrapped asset onto the issuing chain. Putting a wrapped asset from the issuing chain back to the box will release one of the existing locking chain assets back onto the locking chain. There's no way to get assets into or out of the box. All right. What are some of the key takeaways, of course, from this cross-chain bridge standard proposal? Great question. This design proposes one server type called witness servers. And again, this is a while back, but when we get to this part that was recently shared from David Schwartz in this particular presentation of 13 days ago, it's going to give you an idea of why we're mentioning it from, I think this is roughly a year or so ago, and where we're at now. Okay, so again, here's the original proposal. I'll get to where we're at now. So basically, it talks about this one new server type, at least it was new then, called witness servers. 3 new ledger objects, 8 new transactions. I know some of this kind of sounds nerdy, but we're going to get to some of the key highlights here in a bit. The so-called Dyor accounts will be vital in bridging transactions between chains. And this is easy to follow on this part. Dyor accounts represent the account on the unlocking chain used to put assets into a trust, or the account on the issuing chains can be used or issued to wrapped assets. Now, we are completely aware of wrapped assets. There's wrapped of Bitcoin, wrapped Ethereum, or in Mike Cornwall's case, stop pointing me out, Max, wrapped Luna Classic, right? It's okay. The introduction of a new type of server called witness servers will help provide proof that an event happened on either the locking chain or the issuing chain. Now, maybe that might be a little bit hard to follow, but listen to this. The primary function of these lightweight servers is to listen to transactions on one side of the bridge and submit attestations on the other side, affirming that a transaction on the source chain occurred. A witness server may offer attestations for one single chain, and the Dyor account on the locking chain could potentially have different lists, the signers on the Dyor account on the issuing chain. Like, again, to all this stuff. But what is interesting, like it says, to note here, is that the signing of attestation will take place on chain, requiring transaction and paying a fee by the signer. Now, again, we always talk about utility in motion. If you have the signers doing this, again, a little bit more of that utility. This highlights the need for rewarding a witness server to provide just that, signatures. Because as we know, we want things to be paid for, and we want to see that whatever was gathered in issuance gets signed. I mean, it's just as plain as day. Don't need to get really more into it and so on. So there was these proposals that happened. Let me see here. Originally, I don't know if it has a date. Okay, it wasn't last year. I thought it was last year. So February 23rd, 2023. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fast track to where we're at now, and this is back to this update from the horse's mouth, right? David Schwartz. So let's go ahead and get to this. I've already gone ahead and fast forwarded for you guys. Please smash that like, because he's going to discuss XLS38D cross-chain bridge. And like he basically states, hold on a second. Sorry about that. So what he discussed here is the new XRPL standard for a cross-chain bridge that would enable interoperability between different networks, right? Ripple X. All right, please smash that like, especially if you love Ripple XRP and like the coverage. And we're going to go ahead and full screen this. Here we go.
This enables interoperability between different networks. The XLS38D proposed standard will allow tokens from one blockchain to be locked in an account on the XRP ledger, while an equivalent amount of tokens is issued on another blockchain, increasing the use cases and adoption of the XRP ledger. The team has made design changes to XLS38D to support multiple bridges per Dyor account for libraries, explorers, witness servers, and to improve user experience. I want to take a minute to explain why I think these cross-chain bridges are important and why sidechains are important. The XRP Ledger main network is great for payments. It's the home of XRP, and you can use it for other things too. But the idea that everybody will be able to do everything that they might want to do on a single layer one is just unrealistic. No matter how much it scales, there's going to be a limit. And there's going to be people who are going to want to do higher numbers of transactions. There's going to be people who want more computing power. There's going to be people who want very specialized transactors that demand a lot of resources. There's storage that can only go around so much. And there's trade-offs with putting something on the XRP Ledger mainnet. If you put something on the XRP Ledger mainnet, every XRP Ledger mainnet node has to store and relay those transactions. And that creates a scarce resource that we can only divide so far. It's a lot, but it is not infinite. Whatever capacity it has, that's all it has. Whatever capabilities it has, there are going to have to be capabilities that it doesn't have. No layer one is ever going to be everything to everyone. And if
I'm sorry. Did David Schwartz just give us an example of how Ripple's XRP can be scarce? Did we just miss that? Hopefully we're paying attention. Let's listen to a little bit more. Here we go.
if we don't want that to be a huge downside, if we don't want that to fragment the community, what we need is the ability to have asset portability, so that XRP is not limited to the XRP ledger, or other issued assets aren't limited to their home ledgers. Because if you want to build up some other function on some other ledger, you have to be able to get real value onto it. If you have to build a new token or issue a new stablecoin or just build up the sort of whole asset infrastructure from the ground up, that's going to stifle innovation. The other thing that it's great for is to be able to test out things that might be useful on the main network. I'll talk about hooks later, but hooks is a good example of something that you might not want to adopt on the main network immediately because of some of those trade-offs. No matter how good you think it is, it has costs associated with those benefits. And it would be sort of risky in the extreme to just adopt it on the mainnet and hope that those trade-offs work out in our favor. The level of confidence that you need to have to risk harming the main network is very, very high. So these side chains through cross-chain bridges provide a ramp to be able to prove that a technology works in the real world, handling real money, show its impact to things like network stability, fees, and resource consumption, and then you can make a much stronger case for including it on the mainnet. So that's going to enable, along with some of the other things I'm going to talk about, much broader development.
All right. So obviously there's a lot more, and I'm not going to get into the whole thing about this. I mean, it's great. I mean, you're more than welcome to watch the whole thing, in your own time. But again, I was just trying to get to some of the key highlights in regards to this. So on the next particular part, David Schwartz is going to talk about EVM sidechains. Now here at MaximusCrypto, we're always talking about EVM, right? We talk about, for instance, with Polygon. We talk about it, for instance, I believe with Stellar. There's a lot of them, right? I mean, there's ZK EVM. Yeah, that would be basically Polygon. We talked about obviously some things with Stellar. But yeah, I mean, bottom line is EVM, right? What about Ripple when it comes to EVM sidechains? Why is that so significant? Well, again, we'll get into that in a bit. I want to share this report from a while back in regards to EVM. And this wasn't too far back, but basically it does come from the Crypto Basics. I'm going to share this on the screen with you guys as well. And it states here that XRP Ledger EVM sidechain gets major upgrades accessible via MetaMask wallet. Now, so for some people are like, okay, well, that's just MetaMask, Max. I mean, why don't you just point that out? Hey, still a big deal, because if anything, it's going to give you a little bit of a brief example that we're going to use here in a bit, and then we'll get into the whole thing with David Schwartz. But getting more into this, it states that XRP Ledger core developer PureSys technology has dropped specific updates for the XRPL EVM sidechain, disclosing the compatibility, of course, with MetaMask. A lot of us still use MetaMask, not all of us, right? But basically, the firm posted an update in a tweet, attracting the attention of Ripple's digital currency advisor, Anthony Welfare. It says PureSys Technology said it's concluding works on the XRPL Ethereum virtual machine EVM sidechain. Now, again, for a lot of people, they still use Ethereum, and you still have a bunch of Ethereum. Maybe you have it primed and ready to go for whatever new degen play comes out, or meme coin, you name it, right? But the team noted that it has refined and expanded the sidechain capabilities it announced originally back in October 2022. According to the team, the latest improvements bring EVM sidechain closer to its mainnet launch. Like it says, it gets closer every time while you wait for the release of the XRPL EVM sidechain. Don't miss all the new improvements, and if anything, we're going to play this and why, I don't know, we should bring it to you guys, right? So it's 3.5 minutes, and it just gets right into the nitty gritty of why this is important. Please smash that like. Here we go.
Hello, XRP Ledger community. It's been a while since we announced the launch of our first EVM sidechain connected to XRP Ledger in October 2022. Since then, we've been working hard to improve, test, and extend the possibilities of the EVM sidechain that is getting closer and closer to its launch on mainnet. Let's start with the EVM sidechain, which has had huge improvements since its first version, making it much more similar to the XRPL mainnet. Significant performance improvements have been made to the network that have allowed us to reduce the block time from 5.4 seconds to 3.5 seconds on average, a very similar time to XRP Ledger, A proof of authority algorithm has been implemented for the validators, replicating a very similar governance model to the mainnet as well. Finally, the Tendermint consensus algorithm has been upgraded to Comet BFT, the newest and most powerful version. All this is already deployed and accessible with MetaMask by connecting the following network. We continue with the bridge that will connect the EVM sidechain with the main XRP ledger network. This is the component that has received the most improvements to ensure having a bridge natively distributed and compatible with the main XRPL network. Firstly, a newly fully distributed bridge has been developed based on Ripple's XLS38D amendment, which facilitates native interoperability of the bridge through X-chain transactions. This is an essential component for its security. In the same way, the bridge can now be widely distributed, and each bridge can be operated by multiple parties, up to 32 nodes on XRPL. Bridge keys are now compatible with Amazon Web Services key storage to facilitate secure management for operators. In terms of functionality, the bridge now also allows tokens to be transferred between the main XRPL network and the EVM sidechain, so all ERC20 and IOUs are now available and interconnected in both directions. To facilitate the test, we have also included support in the faucet to directly access the EVM sidechain for all users and developers. You can try it now in seconds by going to bridge.devnet.xrpl.org and connecting the wallet. In the same way, you can also receive USDC tokens from the faucet in a single click on the three dots next to the wallet to transfer them to the sidechain. Finally, we're going to see the new tools that have been developed for the EVM sidechain that can be very useful for you. The main Explorer can be found at evm-sidechain.xrpl.org. This allows you to see everything that happens on the network transparently as always. In this new version, it also includes verification of smart contracts that will allow you to see the content of the smart contracts that you execute. For future EVM sidechain validators, a new Explorer has been developed in the base layer that gives transparency to the management of nodes, voting, and network governance. A CLI for developers has also been created that allows you to configure and build your own EVM sidechain and your own bridges in a much simpler and more automated way. Finally, the Gnosis Safe multi-signature smart contract has been deployed in the EVM sidechain, which facilitates the management of secure accounts on the network. It has a web interface to create and manage your secure multi-sig accounts for everyone. And that's all. There are extensive security audits being conducted now on both Ripple's XLS38D amendment, as well as the EVM sidechain and the bridge to ensure their security. A new era of usability, interoperability, and possibilities for XRP Ledger is coming. Stay tuned for the latest updates.
That was cool because it just gives you that quick explanation in under 3.5 minutes. That's why I was bringing it to you guys. So on top of that, we're going to kick it back now to more of this whole topic with David Schwartz on his presentation. Again, I've gone ahead and fast forwarded it for you guys just to make it a little bit more simpler for you. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into that. Here we go. Pull that brand back up. All right.
One example of a sidechain is the EVM sidechain. Nice thing about the EVM sidechain is that it's easy to develop on for people who know how to develop smart contracts on EVM. Developer teams at PureSys, they've been busy working on this blockchain in parallel with the main XRPL blockchain. It is now live on DevNet. That's where developers can test implementations before they go live on the mainnet. The sidechain is connected to that XRPL sidechain DevNet via a bridge. This is a decentralized bridge that's very important, and it uses the XLS38D cross-chain bridging functionality to bridge to that XRPL network. So that's a bridge that connects the development network to the test instance of the sidechain. The next step is going to be to adopt XLS38D on the XRPL mainnet. Once that amendment is approved by the validator community, a new EVM sidechain can be launched to the XRP Ledger mainnet, of course, as can other sidechains. All components of this solution should be production ready to handle real-world scale and real-world use cases. The solution will be a decentralized one. Nodes will be run by different XRPL community members. Really excited to bring a sort of compatible version of smart contracts to the XRP Ledger ecosystem. People already know how to develop them. There's a broad ecosystem of tools. Complementing that, of course, is hooks, which I talked a tiny bit about before. This is some work done by XRPL Labs and Wietse Wynn's team. Hooks is a bespoke light smart contract solution for the XRP ledger, complementary to the EVM sidechain. One of the things I like the most about Hooks is that it is built in sort of the XRP ledger spirit. The XRP ledger, when it was developed, we could have just adopted everything Bitcoin did and been another sort of clone of Bitcoin, but we didn't. We rethought things from the ground up. We thought about decentralization. We thought about performance. We thought about making something that's sort of light. And Hooks definitely embodies that spirit. As I mentioned during my Apex keynote last year, we at Ripple are very much in support of Wietze's efforts. It's very, very cool landmark. Just recently, it passed a comprehensive security audit this year. That is extremely difficult to do for a feature this complicated. So that's, as someone who's written features of, complex features that have to pass third-party security audits, that's a very, very difficult thing to do and a very significant accomplishment and absolutely essential to risk large amounts of value. So yeah, that's a huge. Now, you can't do everything that you could do in an EVM platform with Hooks, but you can do a very significant fraction of important use cases, and that's only going to grow over time. And there are a lot of downsides of sort of a Turing complete or EVM compatible sidechain that you don't have with Hooks. If you think about like the way Ethereum itself works, everything about it is built to support smart contracts. There's an enormous number of trade-offs in terms of confirmation time and fees and stability and resource consumption that you have to make to support a smart contract implementation that heavy. The trade-off is that you can support very, very complicated functionality. Hooks draws a different trade-off. You can't do literally everything that you could do, but all of the important, interesting things I think you will be able to do. And in exchange, you won't have that unpredictability with fees, the resource consumption. So fantastic, fantastic work. And the other cool thing about it is Ripple had absolutely nothing to do with it. We funded some of the developers, but it's not our project. Like, they tell us great things about what they've done, and we silently applaud. That sometimes creates the perception that we're not supportive. We absolutely are. It's not our project, and we're not going to try to take it over. We're going to just watch and cheer from the sidelines, and occasionally maybe some funding if they need it.
All right, let me pause on that part real quick. Let me get to the next part of what we have, which is also some pretty cool stuff. All right, give me a second. Make sure I'm not muted. All right, I'm not. All right, let's get into, a little bit more of this. So he was talking about Hooks, obviously a fast forward to that. All right, I'm going to get to this next part that needs to be mentioned. It's a little bit towards the end, obviously. And that is, hold on a second, let me just double check this real quick. All right. Yeah, this is a good part. Let me just fast forward just a moment. Oh, this is it. XRPL plugins. I want you guys to listen to this. Hold on a second. All right. Yes, he's going to talk about XRPL plugins. Now, here's my thing. We talk about Stellar. We talk about it a lot, especially when it comes to Sorbonne, being able to create, I guess you could say, like a superior smart contract to branch out like an awesome ecosystem, if you will, of all sorts of projects coming in, building not just on Stellar, but through Sorbonne. Okay. Now, I'm not stating that this is XRP doing that exact same thing, but the key thing is creating ease of access with modifiable plugins. And he's going to state here that, you don't have to, there's other languages to make this easier. It's not just exclusive to hey, everybody needs to know C++, right? And again, that was a key attractive thing for developers to be able to come over on Stellar, because they didn't need to know a whole lot of code. Is this Ripple's answer or a way of competing, if you will? Because in reality, they do compete, but my thing is I hold both, right? So I'm not going to throw a fuss about it. But is this is this Ripple's answer, right? Could very well be. Draw your own conclusion. Let me know what you think. Let's go ahead and play this as well. I think this is a big deal. And if I could just get the tab up, my bad. There we go.
XRPL plugins, these are really exciting. Right now, if you want to add a new feature to the XRP ledger, you may have to make small changes in 10 different places. That's very hard to maintain. It's hard to do. It's hard to be secure. And you have to do it in C++ because C++ is the language. This idea of plugins will mean that you can encapsulate the feature, and it might plug in a couple of different places, but the feature is sort of logically encapsulated. And that will enable people to build modules that will plug into RippleD. They don't have to be in C++. They can be in other languages. And that'll make it easier for people who aren't familiar with C++ to develop these features. It'll also be nice for people developing features for sidechains and so on. If every sidechain has 57,000 patches to the XRP Ledger software, it's going to be a mess. So they need to be modular. We'll support Rust, Python, C++, and JavaScript, we hope, just in the beginning. And this will make it easier. Again, building sidechains will be so much easier when you don't have to make changes in a large number of different places. And there's nothing worse than changing software in a large number of different places. Encapsulating all your changes in one place just makes that development so much easier. Being able to say, here's the module that does this thing that we want to do, instead of here's the 70 things you need to change. And of course, if I make 70 changes and someone else makes 70 changes, they may conflict. If I build a module and someone else builds a module, they won't conflict.
Just take a pause to listen to what you just said there. I mean, I don't know if everybody's following this. So one of the key things is, modules and so on, and just be able to make one key update that blankets all of that. You can't, he's right. You can't have it where, hey, let's contact everybody and let's have this developer from XYZ project do an update to make this compatible and this one to make it compatible. No, you have to have it blanket the whole thing. And that's a good thing, because you want to know something, these side chains being able to be connected to, for instance, the XRPL, it shows that it's going to allow those to be continuously thriving ecosystems. I mean, some of them might not be. Let's just be, let's just throw that out. Some might be, some might not be. But you don't want to set up other projects for disaster. This meets that solution. That's a good thing. That's why we point out. Let's play a little bit more in regards to this.
Huge, huge innovation. Always improving performance and scalability, throughput improvements, reduced memory consumption. This is mostly coming from Ripple updates.
All right, so earlier we mentioned scalability. That was at the very beginning. This is him outlining a little bit more in regards to scalability. So I know I said that was the end about scalability, but in reality, he's touching bases a little bit more on the topic of scalability. So again, you may think Max already, played this early. No, this is him elaborating a little bit more about it. So just want to throw that out there. Here we go.
To the core ledger. Memory consumption is important, transaction throughput, IO efficiency, network usage. These kinds of things are extremely important. They make the system much more stable, and they decrease the cost to run a node. But if a cost to run a node is high, then many people won't run their own nodes. That not only drives people out of the ecosystem, but it reduces decentralization, because when you use other people's node, someone else's node, there's someone you're trusting. So we want to keep the cost to run a node low, and we also want to be able to add new features. Let's say we wanted to add hooks to mainnet. If we were right at the limit in terms of memory consumption and storage and IO, there's no way we could add a feature that sort of takes resources. The AMM takes resources. The NFT feature takes resources. If we're at the limit of what our technology can do, then we can't add features. So these improvements are extremely important. And on the other side is state stability and robustness. This is about not accumulating bugs. Old code is going to break. New code is going to add bugs sometimes. We can't allow the bugs to sort of increase. So we fixed some node size estimation issues, an issue with subtotaling and gateway balances. We added the network ID field to prevent replay attacks, and we modernized the API to make it a little harder to shoot yourself in the foot, like not accepting the seed and the public key. Updates for newer compilers like Clang 16, fixes and markers, and other bug fixes. I know these are not as sexy as new features, but this is extremely important, because if your code gets buggier and buggier and buggier, eventually it's going to fail catastrophically. Like, you can't accumulate technical debt. The Conan recipe, Conan. What is good, Conan? To destroy your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. Some of you might be old enough to know what I'm talking about. But Conan is fantastic. I've been developing on the XRP ledger for a very long time. Sometimes I have the wrong version of Boost. I have to install a certain version of RippleD needs a newer version of Boost. My system can't use the newer version of Boost, so I have to switch the version of Boost and switch it back. Oh, but NewDB needs an earlier version of Boost. Okay, what's a version of Boost that works with both? It's a nightmare. This figures out all of the dependencies for you, figures out all the versions that work, and automatically installs them just for RippleD. It is a huge quality of life improvement for developers. And if people are trying to develop sidechains and they're trying to integrate in their own tools, they would have to do the nightmare of figuring out what versions of everything their tools work with. It would be a nightmare. Conan does all of that for you.
So I want to talk about that for a brief moment. So basically, it's like, all right, you know, if somebody said, well, what about all the projects that are basically already on C++? Great question, right? Well, this is the answer to that. Again, kind of like we was talking about earlier in regards to, you know, what was it, the EVMs and so on, and not having to, or the plugins, right? You know, not having to be exclusive to one coding language like C++. I think he mentioned, you know, Python and some of the other ones, right? So this also answers that as well, because let's face it, you know, many years ago, there were projects that were building on this and so on. What about those? He has an answer in regards to those. So this will round off what we have in regards to the XRP coverage. It's almost over. There's only like 2 minutes left. I will play the rest of this because it is good stuff. Here we go.
And of course, libxrpl, which is really nice. This is a core library of RippleD for C++ projects, and it integrates with Conan recipes. So it'll find the right version of libxrpl for you and make everything work. This is extremely important. So a couple of near-term callouts. Talk about a little bit what's coming up ahead. Most of the things are things that I've already talked about. The AMM activation on mainnet, we hope, is coming up. We're excited about the EVM sidechain going live. Hooks, and of course, more stability, security, and cost improvements. That's going to keep happening. So where can you go for more information? So here are some of the resources that you can look at, and there's a QR code. I'll give you some time to get that in a minute. The XRPL Foundation, our co-host for Apex, one of the biggest supporters of the XRP Ledger and an independent nonprofit. Thank you. The XRPL Commons, newly founded org in Paris, held by David Bachiri, who you're going to hear from very shortly. Companies, developers on their journeys, provides education, guidance, and resource. Again, big thank you to him and his group. The XRPL Viewer, where you can view the XRPL mainnet activity. There's many of them, but this is one. XRPL Grants and XRPL Accelerator. These are Ripple programs that cultivate newer developers to build on the XRP Ledger. The program managers are here. Guys, you want to show off who you are? All right, they're hiding. Oh, wait, did I see someone? They're here. And of course, xrpl.org, which is where you can find general information about the ledger. You can find me on Twitter. I guess it's called X now, at Joel Katz, JoelKatz. And please follow at RippleXDev, RippleXDev. To conclude, the future outlook of the XRP Ledger is bright, especially with the improvements and updates, but also with the developing crypto environment this year. I've enjoyed talking to you all. Thank you so much for coming. See you next year. And the QR code is right there.
So boom, there you go. Straight from the one and only Mr. David Schwartz. Glad to be able to share that with you guys. In closing, in conclusion, in regards to that segment, not closing of the show, I want to share my keynotes with you guys in regards to everything that was presented, but mainly on the part of the topic of EVM and the side chains that he was talking about. So, you know, for some of you guys who may not necessarily be the nerds who want to nerd it out, I want to share with you why this is important in regards to investor point of view and so on. So we were talking about EVM sidechain. We talked about obviously hooks. We talked about a lot of this other stuff, right? Some of the XRPL, was it plugins and whatnot. Back to the topic of EVM sidechain. So if you were wondering just exactly like how big is this market? How much is that market really worth, right? That's a good question. Everybody's wondering about some of that stuff. And, you know, I'd be asking that, you know, if I wasn't the type of guy to nerd it out. So bottom line is, according to my notes, that this market is worth approximately $5 billion. Now, how recent of a report is that? Well, as of October 8th, 2023, which is today. Kind of crazy, right? So this is basically, if you want, where I'm pulling that, this is based off of the amount that, on the TVL, the total value locked in EVM sidechains. So that's a pretty accurate amount, $5 billion, right? And that's just based off of that, right? That doesn't count all the other things that we account for. I just wanted you guys to have an idea of how much that market is worth. It may not seem like it's a big deal, but again, getting more into the bull market, it is a big deal. And in regards to EVM sidechains, this measure of the total value of assets deposited, of course, in and staked on these platforms is how they pull that particular data, if you're wondering where we're getting some of those numbers. Now, if you're wondering, Max, well, what is the biggest EVM sidechain? Great question, right? It is Polygon. They have the most in total value locked. Hence, remember many months ago I said, watch out for Polygon, especially when it comes to ZK EVM update and compatibility. In the future, especially in a bull market, Polygon is going to be a massive, big deal. And we did see a 300% increase in volume, but we didn't see a lot of price action. Again, guys, you got to keep in mind, just because there's an upgrade, it doesn't mean that's utility in motion. It's an upgrade. What about when we do get that utility in motion, especially in a bull market? Again, Polygon is another one that I feel as though don't sleep on your Polygon. Why I mentioned Polygon? It's not ISO 222, correct, but it is part of the QFS, the quantum financial system. So getting more into this, there's other notable, of course, EVM sidechains. There's some of you guys are into Arbitrum. Shout out to Crypto Mike, Elon Musk. There's also Avalanche, also use EVM sidechains. And of course, there's also Phantom with an F. Now, is the EVM sidechain market growing? Well, of course, right? Why would Ripple put so much emphasis and so much focus on EVM sidechains, right? Great statement, great question if you're wondering about that. This market basically is growing rapidly, and this is why I wanted to share it with you guys tonight, to give you a broader sense of, like, hey, Max, why show all this nerdy stuff? David Schwartz, yeah, who cares, man? I just want to see Wen Moon, right? Well, guys, you got to keep in mind there's other things to pay attention to other than just cross-border payments, right? As we know, the XRPL is so much bigger than just cross-border payments, right? There's a ton of things to get into, and this is one of the things I wanted to get into for you guys tonight. So yes, this market in regards to EVM sidechain is growing rapidly. As more and more developers and users are looking for ways to scale, believe it or not, Ethereum. I know it sounds crazy, but people say, that's the way, right? But we do know that, for instance, like Ethereum, there's like, layer twos and so on, especially with what JASMY is trying to do. But say what you want. I'm not a big fan of Ethereum. They are apparently going to try to do something to reduce the gas fees, and there's multiple so-called solutions for it. I'm going to make this about Ethereum, so don't shoot me on this. But EVM sidechains offer a way to do this in regards to scalability and so on by providing a separate blockchain that is compatible, listen to this, with Ethereum smart contracts in particular. A little bit more in regards to my notes. This means, if you're wondering about it, that developers can deploy their existing Ethereum dApps, as in decentralized apps, to an EVM sidechain without having to make any changes whatsoever. That's game changer stuff. And users can interact with them basically in the same way. Now, in regards to a little bit more in regards to the EVM sidechain market, because again, I want to, get your attention in regards to some of you guys who are just regular retail investors and don't necessarily care about all the nerdy stuff. The EVM sidechain market is still, of course, in its early stages in development, but it does have the potential to exponentially grow significantly in the coming years. So right now, as we speak, $5 billion in that market in TVL, total value locked. Again, we're still technically speaking in the bear market / crypto winter. So that's something you want to pay attention to. Now, as Ethereum continues to supposedly scale, EVM sidechains will play, of course, an important role in providing users with a fast and affordable way to interact with what Ethereum decentralized apps, dApps. Now, this last part, and it is important to note that total value locked of EVM sidechains can, of course, fluctuate significantly, of course, based on the market. Yeah, no kidding, right? And here's an example. So we talked about Polygon earlier. They're the ones that have the most TVL locked, right? In regards to their EVM sidechains. And you also got to keep in mind that the TVL of Polygon fell by over 50% in the first half of 2022, due, of course, to crypto winter, right? Yeah, no kidding. However, this last part, the total value locked of EVM sidechains has started to recover, of course, in recent months, and is expected to continue to grow in the long term. So again, here at Maximus Crypto, I want to keep you guys informed on not just the concept of cross-border payments and so on. And don't get me wrong, that's big, it's huge, right? When moon. But at the same time, I want you to also pay attention to some of the other technologies and the other things going on on the side, no pun intended, right? EVM sidechains, right? You get that? I think you do. With that said, it's been a pleasure to bring you guys this info tonight in regards to some updates and knowledge in regards to the XRPL and keep you informed. If you appreciate the content that we bring you guys on basically a daily basis, please smash that like, make sure you sub and hit that bell notification. All right, I'm going to go ahead and kick it back into the comments. Okay, let me take off some of that branding and let's see where we're at in regards to some of the comments. So April was saying hello to Boomer. And April, if I didn't give you a proper shout earlier, always appreciate you. I know at some point you probably said, hey, hey, hey. And looking lovely. I like the yellow look. Looks really cool. Matches your earrings and your hair. You know, Crypto Mike must be very, very ecstatic and happy. You guys are both very blessed couple. And I'm sure your kids appreciate you. Hopefully they do. All right. All right. Elon Muff says, when it's all spoken for is how you get a higher price. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You're exhausted? Why are you exhausted? You had 5. Oh, yeah, that would do it. That will do it. Well, God bless you, April. And I know tomorrow's the start of the new work week, so it's kind of hard to unwind when it's all ready to start all over again, right? Yeah. All right, Boomer F. Student says, how, though, if there's not any XRP left to buy, how does the market cap jump to where it needs to be? Think about it for a second. Isn't that the concept of like scarce assets or rarity? You know what I mean? Cool Cat Crypto. Schwartz is going to have to call Craig Wright to learn how to scale. I knew you're going to bust out with something like that. That's okay. You know, hey guys, in reality, I think BSV is solid. It's a really long-term hold for me. But hey, man, I am not complaining about my BSV. I'm still in the profits, and I'm glad about it. Glad that Elon Musk saw that already. Yeah, it's rarity, scarcity, rarity. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to you, man. Glad you caught that. Let's see here. Scalability, really, David? That's okay. Mr. Half Dan DeBlack, aka Danilo, says ICP, and I'll just throw this in there. You're right. Absolutely. All right. Hopefully I'm not lagging. It says I'm having some kind of thing going on. Connection is fairly good. I'm not on. Okay, there it goes. It popped back. That's weird how it does that sometimes. All right. Let's read a few more comments. Let's welcome Cliff Roseboom. I almost said let's welcome Cliff Robinson. And the reason why I do that is because back in the day, you know, was it the 90s, especially Cliff Robinson of the Portland Trail Blazers. Then he went to the Suns. But anyway, let's say it right. Cliff Roseboom, welcome. Glad to have you here. Guys, let's welcome any newcomers you see. Consider changing your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are and what you're about. And he states, H-bar and Ripple coming together. Did you know that? Yes, that was the first thing that we covered at the beginning of the outline tonight. So I'm glad you caught that. I'm sure you probably watched Rich Common Sense Crypto. All right, Cool Cat Crypto says maybe Schwartz doesn't understand what scalability means. Oh boy. All right. Crypto info DYOR. We need that parabolic price spike. Vet. Yeah, you know, it's due. It's really, really due. But you know, I think, you know, the vet army will have their day, right? The V-Chan army. I also have considered VThor, right? Yeah, which is also part of that. Elon Musk, everything going to come together with interoperability. Yeah, very, very true. Cool Cat Crypto. There's no way XRP can do 50,000 TPS. Okay, I hear you. I'm just basing it off the info that literally comes from Ripple. That's all, right? Don't shoot the messenger. All right, Elon Musk, XRP don't need to move that fast. Everything is going to be layer 2 on it. That's a good point. All right, Cliff Roseboom. I wonder if there's a chance that Ripple acquires Botcoin. Botcoin. I think that's a typo. All right. Let me see. Yeah, that's a typo because the I is next to the O on the keyboard. Okay. Acquires Bitcoin. Well, they can't fully acquire it, but I get where you're going with that. All right. XRP will be. Yeah, thank you for doing that, by the way, Boomer. Always welcome newcomers. Thank you. Elon Musk, Mike Cornwell says XRP will be held by banks and layer 2 issued in its place as well. Yeah. You're not the only one that has that opinion. OG Crypto says, look, I agree with you guys. Are going to make some money on XRP, but not crazy money. I think you're probably more on quant, right? That's okay. Again, we know we all have different opinions and so on. So, OG, if I didn't welcome you, I think I did, but nonetheless, welcome Mr. OG Crypto, Mr. Gangsta. You know what, OG? Did everything go okay with you the other day? I know that you were stranded and so on. I think you were listening to the show as you're stranded, like how long were you stranded, man? Did you have a real struggle that night? I hope not, man. I hate when I see friends, loved ones struggle or have a hard time, but I'm glad that you made it. You obviously made it if you're here, right? Imagine you're still not on the side of a freeway for crying out loud. Anyway. Elon Musk, you can find videos of people selling their Bitcoin at $1 because they didn't think they was going to make money as well. Yeah, that's a good point. Or people that sold it at 5 or at 10, like, oh, it's never going to go above 10. Well, then the next one, it's never going to go above 100. And then that happens, and you name it, right? OG Crypto, to be honest, I think Max is accurate when it comes to maybe you're doing voice to text. I think you're trying to say quant because you'll make way more money. Okay, yeah, I think you were. This is voice to text or typo with quant than you will with XRP. You know who would agree with you on that? Is Quant Papa. But that's okay. My thing is this, all right? Both are literally tied for my number ones, okay? Like, I've thought about this. A lot of people say, no, Max, I think you prefer quant over XRP. Literally, it's about a tie. And the way I look at it is it's not crypto tribalism for my own portfolio. That sounds silly, right? But my main thing is, why would I want to, for instance, just dump my position XRP and then just to get that much more quant? As you guys know, I'm very well diversified, maybe even to a fault. But my thing is this: I want to make sure that I hit on both. I don't want to just hit on one. And to me, it's too we talk about risk. It's too risky for me to, like move out of one just to go in on, become like a maxi, for instance. I'm not willing to take that chance. Now, of course, a lot of you guys are willing to take that chance. You feel as though, I don't understand what the big deal is. That just means more of, for instance, quant for me. Hey, I get that. But for me personally, that's my stance. You know what I mean? Like I always say, you guys do you. You know what I mean? That's no disrespect, of course. Quant is your top hold. I didn't know that. I didn't know that quant is your top hold. So, let me ask you something, Mike. I mean, I know that you originally introduced quant to us. I mean, so many people feel as though that I've seen people say, hey, Max, thanks for introducing it. And now you want to get credit where credit's due. It's this guy right here. All right. So he originally told us about quant roughly around, was it $40 or something like that? Oh, shoot, man. That was, I think, before summer of 2022. And then, of course, got more interested in it. And obviously, you guys know how, I do the coverage. But let me ask you something, Mike. When you decide to make it your top hold, because I think at one point maybe it was XRP or some of the other ones, when you made it your top hold, was it because some of the recent things that we shared? Like, for instance, like some people had told me, even in DMs, like, hey, Max, that quant video you did with, the Amazon thing and, BlackRock, Larry Fink, and then showing the whole thing of Aladdin and Simba chain and how we tied all that stuff in. And by the way, if you guys wonder what video that is, if you've never seen that video and you're just coming in to our channel and you just don't know, you only like watching live shows and you don't watch the recorded content, hey, that's fine. But I want to state this: if you want to learn more about quant, I'm gonna pull this up for you guys. This is one video, it's, I don't know, maybe like a week or two old, that we're going to reference here. And I know I'm out of the screen, but that's okay. And it's this one right here. where it says trillions. I think that's the one. No, that's not it. That's a good one. My bad. I would start off with that and then go up to this one where it says all the intermediary one is a good video. Hold on a second. Where is this thing? Oh, there it is. Quant Smart Audit, Simba, BlackRock, Aladdin. I mean, it's a real deep dive. It's 54 minutes. Got 1,200 views. Came out 8 days ago. But I really get into it. I don't just make a statement of 100,000 per QNT. I know some people think that's nuts. Hopium. Okay, call it whatever you want. But I give you why I believe that. And it's a real deep dive breakdown about it and so on. Look more into it. Does that mean that it's going to that price level tomorrow? Well, of course not, right? A few years and so on. But we talked about rarity, scarcity, right, earlier in regards to XRP. I mean, that sounds nuts in itself. Like some people are like, how can XRP be scarce or become rare? David Schwartz gave you some great examples on how that can happen. Okay. But as we know, when it comes to quant, it already is scarce. And we will get to the point where quant will be treated like kind of like how Bitcoin is in regards to people just not being able to own a full QNT. Like a lot of people can't afford to buy a whole BTC, right? You buy slivers of it and so on. This is where the FOMO money comes in the future. Maybe that doesn't seem like now. It's still a buy even right now, like right around $88. So I'll go further down to the comments to see what your answer was in regards to that, Mike. We're about approaching the 2-hour mark here in a second. Let me just double check the other screen. All right. Glad thing I checked the other screen because some super chats came in and I don't want to dismiss any of that. All right. So the last one is You almost messed that up. That was from Patrick Collier. Yeah, you almost got me on that one. Almost. Not quite, my friend. That was not the one, though. All right, let's go further down. Let's also welcome Andrew Gonzalez. Glad to have you here. If I didn't welcome you earlier. Anybody I didn't welcome, sorry about that. Dingy, WTF, Max is doing a show every day. I am now, until I get burned out, I guess. I don't know. Dingy was looking at politics videos. That's okay. Maybe some people, here's the thing. Another thing is like, let's share this real quick. I got to maybe update the, I don't need to share it. Maybe I need to update the banner where it says Monday through Thursday. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, welcome Dingy, Mr. Daniel. All right. Yeah, this is a crazy statement. Charles Hoskinson sells some of his ADA. What the heck? Annoying like a cat that keeps making crazy meowing all the time. What the heck? The facts can be annoying. I don't know. That's a conversation between you two. All right. Let me hop down to the super chats. We got $1.99 super chat from Elon Musk. Mike Cornwall, thank you very much. Boom. Coinbase ran out of quant. I don't know. Is that typo? 3 what ago? Huh. I don't know. But thank you for the super chat. Maybe that's just a typo. 3 hours ago. Dang it. Oh, really? 3 hours ago. Wow. I didn't know that. Huh. Maybe, I don't know. Is there any news about that, or is this something you kind of discovered? All right, let's read this real quick. Flare's original intent was to bring smart contract capability to networks that didn't have them, like Ripple's XRP ledger. The white paper focused on Flare's ability to increase the functionality of the XRP ledger and how to bring functionality and interoperability to the XRP token. Interesting. You got 32 more airdrops. Been talking about availability of the quant for a while. This alone could lead to the bull run of exchanges run out of quant, and that creates more demand for quant. That's a great point. Thank you for pointing that out. Flare price is 98% discounted right now. This is where some people. Yeah, where's all the anti-JASMY people right now, right? JASMY scam, Flare 98% down, scam, right? Yeah. All right, Elon Musk. Exchanges are selling their quant, and that's why it's going down to us. All right, Salamander, $3 super sticker. Thanks, Salamander. Appreciate it. Let's check out what that sticker looks like. I like looking at some of these stickers. They're kind of cool. Let me double check the other screen real quick. Give you a little heart on Elon Musk's $2 super chat. And it is a representation of me with purple boxing gloves, according to Jeff Pruden. He loves my puffy cheeks. And that is a puffy puffball with purple boxing gloves. Well, thank you for that, Salamander. $3 super chat. Thank you. Super sticker, I should say. All right, River. I do hold and stake Flare, though. Decent reward for sure. Yeah, a lot of people have pointed out. Some people, even from the on the chat, have, or the recorded chat, has stated, "Hey, you want to go with one that's a great risk to reward ratio? Go with Flare." And again, I can literally add probably about 20 different cryptos that I still need to acquire, and that would put me roughly at 70 different projects I'm in. I mean, at this point, it's literally a case of like how wealthy am I looking to be? But I don't dismiss any of this stuff like DAG and all that. I mean, there's a lot of good projects. You shout to Danilo, right? ICP, all that. I know you got to do a more of a deeper dive into it. Again, guys, there's only so much time in one day, but yeah, a lot of good projects out there, and there's a lot of bad projects out there. All right, I'm gonna read a few more super chats. I think, I don't know, maybe there's not. If there's not, that's okay. I apologize. All right, let's see here. Elon Musk set the sells higher than the buys coming in, and boom. Plus, people jump out and will supply as well as they spook a price drop. What's up with Elon Musk blocking XRP on Twitter? Really? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Seriously? Yeah, it came out on Google News. Elon Musk called out for XRP account suspension. What? All right, so you got tag in regards to that. All right, let me see what's going on with that. Let me double check the other screen. I guess we're good. I guess Danilo has to go. All right, take it easy, Danilo. All right, we'll see what kind of tags you got for that. All right. Let me see. Let's see what Mr. Elon Musk has. Mike Cornwell. All right. Well, we'll just get into some of these tags in order so I don't miss anything. So, Mike Cornwell sharing this from Jack the Rippler. Wow, a lot of followers for Jack the Rippler. Breaking: Ripple Chief Technology Officer, Mr. David Schwartz, advocates for integrating an automated market maker feature with the XRP ledger to enable the creation of decentralized exchanges. This is what we discussed earlier, guys. Notice how that's breaking. This was from a video 13 minutes ago. It's breaking, I guess, for the whole world. I just got through sharing with you guys on the outline earlier. He talks about that for real. Yeah, that was we were. It's okay. All right, that's fine. I mean, but yeah, there's that. I mean, it is a big deal. All right, let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and retweet that. All right. I think we shared that at the very, very beginning of the outline. I don't know. What else you got? All right. Thank you for sharing the show. All right. Time to buy more QNT. It could be. It could be. It is. I would say it is 88. I mean, even at 85, that was. You guys want to talk about the recent bottom? 85. In reality, anything under $100 is a complete buy QNT. Or how about the quote you had earlier? Anything underneath $10,000, right? Anyway, you get my point. You DCA every day into QNT. Nice. For some people, I mean, maybe you buy a sliver at a time. I mean, if it was at 100 and somebody bought like $25 worth a day, right? Some people do that. Maybe some people do like 20 or 30. I don't know. Or it just depends. JASMY definitely not a scam. At some point we were going to say that, right? Everyone have to go. Have a good night. Yep, have a good one. Put the little Mr. Ur to sleep, or maybe it's not a Mr. Ur. All right, Tim Shea. has been adding JASMY in QNT. Nice, very nice. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As with you always, this is Danilo doing a yer. All right. Dreamer, welcome. He says, "Hi, Max, everyone. I was late, but been here for a while." All right. Well, show's over. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. Good to see you, Mr. Dreamer. I always think of that one song, Dream Lover or whatever. I don't know. It's a good song. IO Text. Yeah, IO Text is decent. And probably one I'll regret not having at some point. There's going to be a lot that I'll regret having. There's going to be ones that you will regret that maybe I have and vice versa, right? That goes for anything, Anyway. Patrick Collier, you guys are having fun. All right. From what you read, according to Boomer F is Sooner, Elon Musk, blocked XRP on X 2 days ago. Speculation is to shield people from scams. Oh, that's a good point. You know what else? Something? Think about this for a second. Mr. Elon Musk, Mike Corn was talking about how Coinbase, I guess, ran out QNT and some other exchanges ran out QNT. What's the one thing we can basically gather from what you just mentioned, Boomer, right? With XRP and what we just gathered from Crypto Mike? Creates that much more demand for these two particular assets. Whether you agree with the use case with some of this or not, for some people, that's the bottom line. It does create that much more demand. If you make it more harder to achieve or to purchase some of this stuff or get access to it, yeah, that creates demand. Now, for people that just don't see the light with some of this stuff, they're going to be like, that doesn't create demand. I'm looking at the charts, not doing anything. You're missing the bigger picture. I don't mean, no disrespect to anybody, but that's just the way I look at it. All right, yeah, let's see here. Lance Anderson, welcome. What is that? You're doing yoga or something? Let me see that. No, you're not doing yoga. You're just like, heck yeah, man, I got to the top of the mountain. Nice. Well, Lance, I want to welcome you. And let's see here. Boomer F and Sooner, Sam or not, I thought Musk was against banning/blocking stuff on X. Well, yeah, but you want to know something? If you think about this, they do analytics just like anybody. And how about this? All right. You better believe they have ways of tracking stuff. I mean, if they shut off my Twitter space, remember on Friday, they shut off my Twitter space because that guy came in with that nasty stuff, and it was just like somebody pulling the plug. So my point is this: as a content creator, I'm always able to gather the analytics that they bring me. I could see how many impressions I got on what I share, how many new followers I get on Twitter. I mean, you guys maybe not, you don't pay attention to stuff like that. I have to, but it gives me all those analytics. That tells me if I get those analytics, you better believe Twitter gets some kind of analytics that says, all right, XRP airdrops, these spammers/bots. All right, how many are there? Okay, then Elon Musk looks at whoever the person is, Chloe's assistant. What do you got, Chloe? Well, Mr. Musk, this is what it shows. In the month of September, we had overwhelming 155,530 spammer bots. Okay, what's the point? Well, Mr. Musk, according to these stats, of every single posting that was made, 72% of the people clicked on the airdrop information. Wow, that's going to be a problem. I'm just throwing out a scenario there. So I would look at it from the perspective of, yeah, it's like you go public and say you will never, filter any, not give, like you said, against banning and blocking stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm looking from the perspective of like, who is it mainly affecting? You want to keep people on your platform, you don't want to steer people away. So you got to take what is the greater good out of getting, banning, I guess you could say the evil of the whole thing. I don't know. I'm not making the best point, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, he looks at the analytics. He has to. And that's just my conclusion. I mean, if I was a CEO, I'd be like, hey, you know what? This is a problem. Some people will say, well, just ban all the bots. Don't ban XRP. And that's a great point as well. But what if there's more bots coming in that they could block, and they just decide, well, we're just gonna not allow anybody to have that gateway, right? Because we always talk about gateways to this stuff. I don't know if that's even a possibility. I'm just looking at scenarios. Half of Twitter is a scam. Yeah, that's a good point. When they do it, block. Okay, what's he gonna do? Block half of Twitter? Yeah, or like 3/4, just like crypto. Well, you guys make good points. I'm just giving you guys my point. It doesn't mean I'm right, right? Anyway, don't you guys love how you pop? I mean, come on, let's just be honest about it. Like, who else pops right here? You know what pops is this guy, especially last night at the end of the last night's broadcast. Yeah, that combined with never mind. Anyway, all right. What we're going to do now is we're going to get into the last bit of coverage that we have for the night, and it's basically some of the community-driven news that you guys have, and we're going to start off with, I believe it might be. I believe it's from NeoX right? Just a little bit of JASMY tonight, not like a lot at all, just a little brief thing. I thought this was cool because I love the movie Pulp Fiction. It's probably my top 2 favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. Okay, so obviously, Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Basterds are probably my 2 favorite from him. Some other people have other favorites like, Django and whatnot, right? And which, don't get me wrong, Django was good. Reservoir Dogs and so on. Maybe Kill Bill. I don't know. Kill Bill gets kind of, get kind of tired of it, but that's okay. So this is from NeoX. This is pretty cool. I thought I would share this with you guys because, again, Quentin Tarantino and all that. 7 years ago, he became aware of the data collection practices of, for instance, Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, and I guess the last one's supposed to be Meta. I don't know. I mean, technically Facebook is Meta. Since 2 years, JASMY is the ultimate solution to protect my private life, a blockchain platform that gives users full control of their data. It's just kind of funny, say big data, say it one mother blankety blank time, right? And then boom, 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 boom. That's such a crazy scene. But anyway, it's kind of funny. Reg Arm, nothing against him, but he can never figure out what side of the fence he's on. He's always on both sides of the fence, right? But anyway, yeah, I thought I'd show. It's kind of like a little fun little thing. Jumping into a little bit more of what we have, I want to get into some more of that community news. I think there's some more that came from you. Hopefully you guys enjoy the thumbnail. Let me share this with you guys. I always try to do creative stuff, and I've gotten some praise from it. Shout out to Jose Muskis, Jay. He comes to watch the show sometimes. I mean, say what you want. That's not too shabby of a thumbnail, I know it's not Subway, it's Sunday, and there's all you guys, right? Anyway, it's trying to make my head look symmetrical to the rest of that body. I mean, it is me. That's totally me right there, you guys. Anyway, all right. Let me remove that. All right, let's get back into the news here in a second. But before I do, I want to welcome Mr. What's that? Tim Shea says spray and from far away, spray and pop. Okay. We got Selmo Fudd in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Mr. Selmo Fudd. You said do your own research. What up, Max? Thanks for doing a Sunday night stream. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm trying to. All right. There's nothing negative to mention here, okay? But for one, Crypto Mike kind of inspired me. All right. And what I mean by that is he made a good point, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? He's right. So basically, yeah, live shows every day again. And if I need to take a day off, I just make a post. Hey, no show tonight, that type of thing. But I did put a lot of effort, obviously, into the old channel. We did live shows every day for over a year, and I thought if I was able to do that with that old thing, then why not finally just invest it with my own shebang, right? And I was like, you know what? Get a lot of momentum. And I think it's going to pay off the hard work. It's going to pay off because we have wonderful community people like you, Selmo Fudd and Tim Shea, and who sprays from far away, right? No, okay. Boomer F and Sooner, all you guys. We gained went from starting over, but not really starting over, having a community, and that's the bottom line. And I think people appreciate the daily content for what it's worth. So, yeah, there's gonna be times in which I might not be able to do it. I'll just make a post. It's not the end of the world, right? Hey guys, can't do a stream tonight. Hey, no biggie, right? Absolutely. But I am gonna try my best to be consistent. But the thing I am running into a problem is I think I need to not do any more WrestleManias, because then it's kind of like creating a pile of paperwork or pile of work. I mean, I have literally 2 or 3 days I have to catch up on. Good thing I don't always do time sensitive crypto coverage, because if I did, then all of that coverage would have been wasted, right? Anyway. All right. Glad everybody's welcome. Selmo Flood. Boomer F and Sooner says, so by that analogy, if Musk blocked XRP on X, then he had a good reason, didn't just do it willy-nilly. Yeah, but again, guys, it's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Never said that I'm always right. I will never come on camera and be like, hey, subscribe to this channel, I'm always right, because I'm not always right. You know what I mean? I'm a human being. Like, there's no such thing as a single human being out there that's always been right, Anyway. All right. Selmo Flood is giving dabs to Patrick and everybody else. Thank you. And it wasn't XRP per se, it was digital assets. All right. Crypto info. Do your own research. That's what's up, 100%. Live shows every day of the week leading up to the greatest wealth transfer of all time. I'm glad you look at it that way. Crypto info, DYOER. Can I ask you this? I think the answer is yes. So when you do your videos, that is your like AI version of whoever, right? Maybe you. I don't know. I kind of want to do an impersonation of that sometime. I have to study how you do the show. This is not me knocking on you. I respect you. But I do a lot of impersonation. I could do about 22, 23 different impersonations. I haven't ever done them all on the show. One of these days, I'm just going to write down all of them, and then maybe I do a few of them. But I was listening or watching your program of the guy that you just recently interviewed. That was pretty funny, man, how you interviewed me. And he was giving a response like, well, man, everybody else is kind of doing it. So I was like, hop on the wave, bro. I'm just saying, it's kind of funny. Yeah, I was like curious. I'm like, that has to be some kind of AI or something like that. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's really, I don't know. I don't even know if you want to share that. But I'm glad that you appreciate education. And that's a rare feature nowadays, unfortunately, for some people. I know that sounds like a bad generalization, but it's true. Tim Shea, Max, that type of thinking will get you far. In regards to the hard work, thank you. So I'm going to follow with $2 super chat. Hey, thanks, man. Here's a $2 holler. Thanks, man. Appreciate that, Selmo. You've always been one of the OGs of OGs. I kind of wonder sometimes when we used to have the animated version of yourself, which that looked great, but this one also looks great too. It's a great look. You got your dog tags going on with your necklace. You got the dice, because you're always saying that. You got was it something about you got to take a chance to roll the dice or something like that. You had a rhyme to go with it, but I don't know. It's just a cool look. You look hip, hip hop style. I always loved the hip hop style. Anyway, not now, but back in my younger years, I used to be super into fashion. I know you would never think that in a million years. My old pictures prove it. But I used to love brands back of the 90s, like 26 Red. I used to love Jinko before it went skater. It used to be kind of like a hip hop style. I used to love Carl Kanai. Man, I had a bunch of nice Carl Kanai. Shout out to anybody who used to wear Carl Kanai back in the 90s, right? All right, so we also want to thank another person. But yeah, thank you again, Mr. Solomon Flood. We got Dreamer with the $2.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Super sticker. Let me see what it looks like real quick. It is spoiler alert. That looks cool. I like that. That looks super cool. And let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. This is your first super chat on a live stream. That's cool. I didn't even know we can highlight something like that. Well, that's what it says on the other screen. So Dreamer, thank you again, man. Really appreciate the super sticker. Really kind of you. Yeah. All right. Crypto info, DYOR. Haha. Yes, I use the metaverse to speak to people all over the world. And as far as my voice, that's my alter ego. I knew it was something like that, man. It was just like, because some of it's just like, I can't even do. I got to get that voice down, but it was cool. It was kind of like like a little bit of a hip hop vibe, like, yeah, welcome to Crypto Info DYOR. We are here with a live show with Mr. Crypto Mike doing it big. Elon Musk, give me the education. I can't even do it right now. If I studied it, I would get it down. But anyway, you're probably like, what the heck, man? But that's cool. Your alter ego. That's cool. All right, Crypto Mike. He says, you want a slice, you got to roll the dice all my life. I be grinding all my life. Nice. Yeah, and I was trying to do a weird impersonate. You have an Oculus, the whole fam does. Then why didn't you guys all play in Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, man? I got to get myself one of those things. Here's the thing, man. I as much as I want to play video games, it's like I don't really have any time to, man. Like honestly, the only free time I really get when I really think about it is maybe like 1 or 2 hours, and then I haven't watched it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks now. But I've been watching a show that Magic Johnson apparently he's not a big fan of, but hey, too bad. And that is a show that's on HBO. I don't have cable. I have a service that shows this show. It's called Winning Time. It's about the Lakers. That show, if you're a fan of NBA basketball, I'm not a Laker fan. I mean, I love LeBron. I've always loved Magic Johnson, all those guys. I mean, I guess I kind of like the Lakers. I love great basketball players, right? I'm a Portland Trail Blazers fan. We only beat the Lakers once in the Western Conference Finals, once to go to the finals, and we won that year in '77. So, but anyway, my point is, it's called Winning Time. About the dynasty of the Lakers. That show is awesome. If you guys love hip hop and stuff like that, tune into that. Watch it, man. Like it's got some like Henry Brown. I don't know if you're still listening right now, but it's got some like synth to it. And then like when they cut into certain scenes, Brian Dowie, I always call you like you're one of the step bros, like John C. Riley. I never know if it's you're John C. Riley or you're the Will Ferrell or Tim Shea. It don't matter. But the key thing is on that TV series, John C. Riley, he plays Dr. Jerry Buss, and he looked like whoever did the casting for that TV series and the makeup artist, whoever that is, like both of them, they made John C. Riley literally look just like Dr. Jerry Buss. And they kind of bring like a hip hop element to even the intro song. I wish I could play it here on the live show. It's got a killer intro, man. I wish I can get like a full song of that intro. I mean, like I'm a big fan of the TV show Power, and I love the spinoffs. They say this is a big rich world. I love that, right? Like that's one of the best intros ever, right? By 50 Cent, even the remix. But this one, it brings back the early 80s, like late 70s, early 80s vibe, and then it kicks it in with the hip hop. Oh my gosh, like that's the hip hop I love. You know what I mean? Like, and so anyway, yeah, me and Henry Brown are working on something. I got to get the actual work on it. I do plan on doing it. Hopefully sometime tonight because I know the new week is kicking in. But it's crypto and hip hop, right? That's another thing we're bringing to you guys and so on. And I suck right now. I know I suck. But you want to know something? Henry Brown's an awesome coach, and he's trying to help me. He's like, you don't need to come up with a 1 or 2 minute long rap because you're going to eventually mess up. He's like, the key to dropping bars is just like record, like maybe 2 or 3 bars and then pause it. And then, and then just get that down perfect. And then he takes it and oh my gosh, like you should hear the beat he made. It sounds like something from DJ Premier Gangstar. Anyway, I'll start going on a tangent. Don't want to lose everybody, but we still have a little bit more coverage for you guys from the community-driven news. But telling you guys flat out, right? Like, hopefully you guys seen Henry Brown's channel. We'll probably highlight again. But Henry Brown is extremely gifted. I'm not kidding you, man. Like, he asked me, he's like, who's your favorite rapper? Obviously Nas. And then like he was just like, who's your favorite DJ? I was like, DJ Premier. And he's like, all right. He's trying to get like, he kind of, how do I say this? All right. So like I majored in business management and, I got my MBA, right? I minored in HR, right? Human resources. Just hear me out real quick. I want to share some things with you guys. You guys are the community. So we already did a lot of crypto con. I want to hear this for a second. How do I give an analogy of what Henry Brown is? All right, here it is. Henry Brown is like the HR of hip hop. I really mean that. What is the job of HR, human resources? Is to provide the company, right? For they can basically find the right niche or the right person, to take on to that company, right? Are you or find the right fit is what I'm trying to say. So with me, he asked me these questions, and then when he took my hip hop thing that I made, this little quick thing, he puts it on a track. He knows when to like slow it down and place it in key parts. And again, this is our first thing ever, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this literally sounds like something from DJ Premier, of Gangsta. Guy is extremely talented. Like you have no idea. And we're going to be more than proud to be able to finally bring it to you guys, but it has to be the right timing, because people obviously will point out the bad flaws and stuff like that. But we're going to be so proud to finally have some of that stuff done. And the cool thing is, and like you said, this is why you want to team up with me for this. The lyrics will be education about crypto, but with a nice flow and with a cool, like, I don't know, kind of like East Coast, like 90s East Coast, New York style hip hop vibe to it and so on, because that's kind of my thing. But it's going to take a while, but you know what? We're going to be proud of that. And it's going to sync, and there's not going to be any mess ups or anything like that. For real. I'm not kidding. We really got to bring it. We're going to bring it. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Let's read the last bit of comments, and now we'll kick it back into the community driven news that we have for you guys. Max, get the Oculus. You want to grab it? That's what I've been told. The new Oculus just came way better. Cool. My birthday in December, muff. Is that a clue? Me time is sick. Yes, I'm glad you like, man. This is what I'm talking about. So you're a big hip hop fan? That's awesome, man. I mean, there's good and bad in all musics, right? Like I'm a fan of all musics, to be honest. Like some people say, well, you don't like country. I like old school country, like the 50s and 60s. Like I love Patsy Cline. I love Eddie Arnold. I love Jim Reeves. I love, I love a lot of those, Hank Williams, for instance, original Hank Williams, right? More the modern stuff. Sorry to say, it's just too much of the, driving down to my Ford and pulled it into gear. Next thing I know, I ran over. No, never mind. I'm not gonna sing, but I don't finish the song on that because it's bad. But anyway, it's just like, it's the same thing. I don't like it. But if that's you, you do you, right? But for me, there's good and bad in all genres. There's a lot of bad rap. That's crap. There's good metal. There's bad metal. There's, you name it, right? There's opera that I love, and there's opera that I cannot stand. Anyway, I'm not just about hip hop though. Crypto hip hop equals crip hop. Yeah, and little known fact, you guys, if you ever wonder what my other name was going to originally be, instead of Maximus, all right, instead of MaximusCrypto, I have it saved somewhere. I think it's on my old computer. I had the logo, and the guy, I had a mascot, and his name was Crypto, and he was a Crip. So he had a blue bandana wrapped around a foot, and he had two eyeballs. But it was professionally made, and it was going to be called Crypto. Yeah, you get it. It's bad. It was kind of corny, and I thought, what if YouTube shuts me down because it thinks I'm trying to promote, some kind of gang thing? And I was just like, nah, forget it. I want people to take me more seriously. So MaximusCrypto, here I am. Anyway, this has been my name for 23 years, though. All right. XRP F the Popo. Oh my gosh. That's weird, but that's cool. All right, Boomer After I started watching Winning Time when it came out. I stopped when most of the players said the show was completely fiction. All right. I'm going to hold you to that, Boomer. You're not going to like what I'm about to do right now. You better watch it, Max. I'm on my couch with my dog right now. I know you're on your couch with your dog right now. But let me say this, like Dave Chappelle, F your couch, buy another one. No, I'm kidding. All right. So here's the thing, Boomer effing Sooner. I'm looking right at you, Boomer. Do I got your attention now, Boomer effing Sooner? That's my Crypto Hulk impersonation. Okay, ready for this, Boomer? Do I got your attention? I'm going to look in the comments. Do I have your attention? I think I got your attention. All right. If I'm not mistaken, Boomer, you have stated, are you ready for it? You ready for it? Are you ready for it? All right. Oh, it got canceled. No, I didn't want to know that. All right. All right, here we go. Okay, and we'll make the connection real quick. We'll get back to the crypto stuff in here in a second, guys. I want to state this. So you state right here, you stopped when the player said the show was completely fiction. Okay. All right. Here we go. You have stated to me, I'm pretty sure it was you, that you love a show from the 1970s called Baba Black Sheep, right? They only had 2 seasons and when it became Black Sheep Squadron. Did you stop watching that when the fighter pilot said it was completely fiction? Oh, no, Max, you can't do that to me, man. That show's too cool. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Guess what? It's okay. It's okay. We all do it, right? We're all TV hypocrites, right? You called me a hypocrite, Max. That's it. I'm out of here. Freaking Boomer F Sooners, take my dog and my TV, and you tell me to F my couch. Yeah, like buy another one representing Dave Chappelle. No. Yeah, guess what? I'm a TV hypocrite too. I do the same thing, my friend. I'm just pointing that out. We love Ball of Black Sheep. That's my dad's favorite show, by the way. He loves that show. Fiction or not, he just freaking loves that show. Man? Never heard that show. Bull. Okay. Okay, maybe it wasn't you. All right. Fair enough. I thought it was you. You still going to unsubscribe? Max, you better be getting down on your hands and knees right now, freaking begging back for my subscription. Yeah, I know. Bubba Black Sheep, man. Robert Conrad. Plays the role of Pappy Boynton. Pappy Boynton would have been the ace of aces if he didn't get shot down in, was it February or January? Let me think. Let me see. When did Pappy, it was 1944, I know that much. Boynton get shot down. January 3rd, 1944. And he had 28 confirmed kills. And at the time, he was the leading ace of the Pacific Theater. If you think about it, if you never got shot down, he would have been the ace of aces. The ace of aces of the Americans was Dick Bong. 40 confirmed kills with a P-38 Lightning. Boynton did it with a F-4U Corsair. Now, they don't credit Boynton with more of his kills when he flew with the Flying Tigers, when he flew, for instance, a P-40 Warhawk. Why is Max talking about World War II aviation history? Because I love it and I just did. All right, back to the comments. All right. I remember you all talking about it, but it wasn't me. My bad. Magic Johnson refused to watch it. It's so okay. Fiction or not, it's just a good. I don't know, man. It's just something about it. It's just cool. I don't care if it's Okay, how about this? Can I salvage this before we get back to the crypto stuff? Can I salvage this real quick? Jeez. Boomer F and Sooner. Boomer's like, why are you picking on me tonight? Boomer, did you ever watch Inglorious Bastards? Can you please just say yes? Just say yes, please. All right? Did you watch that? Quentin Tarantino's Inglorious Bastards. Okay? I'm waiting for your response. Dreamer, yeah, it sucks. Winning Time got canceled, regardless of how true it was or not. It was it got canceled. What the heck? You know what it probably was the NBA players flooding it. And then people were like, well, I'm going to stop watching it. And in reality, that's what happened with Black Sheep Squadron, right? The fighter pilots, the real fighter pilots say it was fiction. And then, not a million people were watching it. But that show was just as popular as MASH before that info came out. You never watched Inglorious? All right, how about this, Boomer? Do you watch anything other than college football? And if you say no, then you're trolling me. All right, back to the crypto news. I'll wait for you to respond. My God, yeah, Patrick Collier is probably like, dude, what the hell, Boomer? You know what tonight's show highlight should be? So that's a yes. You just watched college football, and that's all you watch. Brad Pitt? Yes, Brad Pitt. You're trolling me. You have to be trolling me. You know how I know you're trolling me? I think this is troll. Because you know how many times you shared on our show that I know I'm going to tangent, guys. I'll get back to crypto, I swear. Just give me a second. All right, let me finish this. You know how many times Boomer would talk about Young Guns Part 1 and 2? I know that for a fact, right? Talking about how Young Guns 3 is coming out, Lethal Weapon 5 is coming out. But you haven't seen The Glorious Bastards? I think you're screwing with me. I think you are. Yeah, you're screwing with me. Absolutely. You were trolling me, and I recognize a troll right now. So that's all right. The point is this. You have seen Inglourious Bastards. And the point is, just like this part earlier, and that was this right here, you stopped watching it when you found out that it's completely fiction. But in reality, you watched Inglourious Bastards, and you love every freaking moment of Inglourious Bastards because that movie rocks, right? But that's a fictionalized version of the ending of World War II, right? But that's okay. See, again, we are all what? We are movie and TV hypocrites, right? We pick and choose what we want to be hypocrites in regards to what's fiction or not. Hey, guess what? It's okay. I'm guilty too, all right? I know you've seen it. I know you've seen it. All right, maybe you haven't. I don't know. We'll stop picking on Boomer. All right, back to the show. All right. Inaccurate scam. Okay. All right. Jeez. I can have some fun, right? Well, you had fun last night, Max, with your stupid tangent, nonstop hysteria, and we had to cancel the rest of the show because of you. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to share some of this community-driven news, and I'm going to get into it right now. So basically speaking, this is from Elon Musk. This is from a report in regards to Binance. Let's just jump into this for a brief moment. And here it is, Binance. What is this about? Well, they say basically that they will operate under new UK rules despite earlier withdrawal. Now, in regards to this, what are some of those rules? Are they talking about maybe, Electronic Trade Documents Act? Maybe a little bit of that, but there's a lot more, right? Customers in the UK can access permitted services through a new webpage. Binance announced on October 6th it has launched a new subpage to serve its UK customers in light of changing regulations. The exchange company said that in compliance with the UK's updated financial promotion regime, Binance.com/EN-GB, as in Great Britain, I imagine, will serve local residents. Binance said that UK users will only be able to access services that comply with local regulations, that the list of available services is nevertheless extensive as it includes fiat and crypto deposits and withdrawals, spot trading, margin trading, conversions, NFTs, you name it, right? And the ICO platform Launchpad. So the company did not suggest that it intends to register in the UK, but its current announcement, in its current announcement, instead, Binance stated that it has partnered with the FCA registered firm RebuildingSociety.com to approve its marketing materials under S21 gateway rules. Why is this important? Well, basically speaking, it's because UK regulations prompted Binance's actions primarily to aim to restrict how crypto companies can promote themselves. Notably, the new rules mandate risk warnings and ban referral and sign-up bonuses. The potential penalties for violating the rules are very harsh, as they include possible jail time and potentially unlimited fines. My God. Changes to the financial promotion regime will generally come into effect today. Binance said that it will enact the relevant service changes on I guess you could say that today. Various crypto companies have left the UK market due to increasing compliance requirements. PayPal, Bybit, Luno, and these other ones have all stated that they will at least temporarily reduce the services that they offer to the UK users this month. All right. So even with that said, just on the surface, what do you think that's going to do for assets like QNT, right? If anything, you understand that they are regulatory compliant from top to bottom with the UK, right? And you had Gilbert Verdian, who worked with the UK Finance Ministry. Was it like maybe 6-8 years ago, right? So there's that. So yeah, cross your T's, dot your I's. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys just a little bit more before we possibly close things out here in a bit. We have a little bit more from my feed. And actually, maybe a lot more, maybe 5 things more, right? So this is good stuff. This is from Zach Rector. This is from Elon Muff, aka Mike Cornwell. I've gone ahead and retweet. This is a 1-minute snippet. This is, of course, Zach Rector. Stock crash while commodities pump. Let's go ahead and share this. A lot of you guys are subscribed to Zach Rector. I want you to check this out real quick. And let's go ahead and play this. Here we go.
The war is live, and before I talk about how the economy and markets are going to be impacted, I just want to say that I am praying for peace. So this war is starting on the 50-year anniversary of the Yom Kippur War, which took place in 1973 from October 6th to the 25th. In the next 7 years, we saw crude oil went from $5 to $50, interest rates went from 6.5% to 18%, and gold, this is truly incredible, guys, $42.22 to $875 per ounce. Stocks lost almost 50% of the following 52 weeks, but ended even after 7 years. So it took 7 years for the stock market to recover. During that time, oil from 5 to 50, interest rates basically tripled, and gold went from $40 an ounce all the way up to nearly $900 per ounce. So could we see something play out similar here? I think that inflation is back, oil is going to be going up, and gold is ready to break out as well. The war is live, and before I
say what you want. Sounds pretty crazy, don't it? It does. All right. A little bit more of what we have. We have give me a second. Maybe we don't. Oh, yes, about the level playing field. When was this shared? 2 days ago? Yeah, on Friday. We didn't get a chance to share this on the show. All right, this will be the final one we share tonight before we close things out. Please smash that like. Here it is. This is from Crypto Mike with the sideline reporting. He shares this from ISO GOAT, right? So here it is, and I'll leave it on this particular screen. November, shaking hands, level playing field. Credit is to Smoke, whoever that guy is, but that's okay. Look at what it says. ECB-driven initiatives. ECB is driving initiatives to promote market harmonization. This basically includes, let me see if my settings are good. They are. This basically includes Eurosystem Collateral Management System, ECMS, which aims to harmonize current collateral management processes, where differences in business processes and messaging create operational barriers to efficient management. The ECMS, Eurosystem Collateral Management System, will replace 19 different collateral management systems with a single system capable of managing the assets used as collateral in the Eurosystem credit operations for all jurisdictions. Here's the highlight. With go live in November 2023, this is expected to increase efficiency in the management of collateral and level the playing field among Eurosystem counterparties. This is crucial or critical to the further integration of pan-European market. I guess this is where a lot of people feel as though like things could really go big. For me, maybe it's the start of some things, but I mean, there's a difference between, the start of things going live and then getting to the point where we have full implementation and it's just running like like, gushing out, the faucets are turning out, but it's like Olympic size swimming pool type faucets, if you will, not little kitchen sink faucets. This last part on the bottom, this is not highlighted. I don't know why you didn't highlight this. The compliance date of corporate action standards is November 2023, with the exception of those events which are only relevant in equities and investment funds for which the implementation deadline is November 2025. That's why I always talk about November 2025. Although CSDs may indicate an earlier deadline. All right. 2 hours and 44 minutes. Probably went about 15 to, 45 minutes to half an hour to 45 minutes too long tonight. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. I'm going to read the last bit of comments, and then this will be it. Dog shoe on a catcher next to me. Not a scam. Oh my gosh, that sounds disgusting. How can you just let it sit there? All right. Magic Power. It's got the, what is that, a grizzly bear? Yeah. All right. Robert Williams, top 2 wallets. Depends on the wallet. You talking about a hot wallet? Well, for me, it just depends, man. Ethereum base, I guess I'm going to go maybe MetaMask. I'm not a big fan of Coinbase wallet, even though I have a bunch of crap coins on it. I agree with, I think it was either Blackwood or Rivers. It's kind of a piece of crap. And then in regards to Binance related stuff, right? BNB, right? BNB or Binance Smart Chain, obviously Trust Wallet, right? Pretty simple to use, and they have built-in dApps, right? You got Pancake Swap on it and so on. And by the way, you could buy XRP for people who are like, shout out to Elon Musk. He mentioned this a long time ago. He's like, with who of the past, I won't mention his name anymore. And it was like, yeah, man, I have this problem with KYC. Well, guess what? Just because we can't use KuCoin anymore for trading, you can go to your Trust wallet, you can activate Pancake Swap, and you can buy XRP. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, we could buy XRP, I guess, apparently on Coinbase and stuff. But for people that don't want to go that route, maybe want something a little bit more simpler, you can go that route too. So as far as hot wallets, I guess you could say, I would go with that. Cold storage, definitely Ledger, pretty much Ledger all the way. Anyway, good questions. Gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight on this Sunday. And tomorrow we'll be back for we'll see what goes on with the market. A lot of times when it's a new work week, some crazy things basically happen. Typically speaking, before, how we do it is we give you the weekend update and we share it on Monday. But now that since there's shows every day, we're not going to be resharing what was on Saturday on Monday. Hopefully that doesn't disappoint people, but it is what it is. I guess if somebody asks about it, I'll say, hey, just go watch the Saturday show. In regards to other updates, we're going to get some JASMY chopped up for you guys. You will see it hopefully tonight because I don't want to make it that old. And then I don't know what happened to Will Fix, so I don't know if he just called in tonight, and that's fine. I'll just shoot him a text, let him know that I probably would just go ahead and release the other JASMY video. And I think there might be a little bit more. Oh, yeah, we had some that thing of what we saw tonight. XRP and Hadera. That was big. And then, of course, my special coverage, I think it was yesterday night in regards to FedNow and Hadera, but that one particular one I can't think about the top of my head. There's so much. Sometimes there's too much information even for me to handle, right? So I think that's roughly like 3 or 4. I'm going to try to get those done. That's a lot of work, but I want to get it out there. And then that way tomorrow we can start fresh and go from there. In regards to Will Fix, get used to seeing a lot more of them. I'm sure he's probably going to maybe start that, who knows, maybe tomorrow and so on. Probably talk about XRP. And then give him roughly, who knows, maybe a week or two to give you guys the report in regards to how he's doing with his mining, because he hasn't gotten the miner in the mail yet. But I'm sure he's excited to share that with you guys as well. It's been a good show. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific-ish. All right, smash that like on your way out, and make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. All right, really appreciate you guys. Take it easy. Have a great night. Over and out. Bye-bye.